Hi guys, this is a long video, so I'm just going to make this very brief. If you haven't seen the original Drive-Thru Roadtrip video, I'd recommend going and checking it out because this is a commentary of that video, and we do not skimp out on talking over the video. So if you just care about what the trip was like for us, I'd say watch the original video. I also need to apologize because despite my best efforts, there were still some Discord notifications and Microsoft alerts that snuck into the audio mixing. So you might hear a couple of those, and I am very sorry about that. We'll work on getting that fixed for the next one. In the meantime, I'm going to turn it over to Jayden, and she's going to explain what we're doing today.
So, James,
Mm.
it has been not quite, nearly a full year since we departed on something that was really dumb and stupid.
Yes. Yes.
And in lieu of that, you wanted to do this thing where we watch the video and do some commentary and talk about our experiences and what's changed since then, what we do differently, and even also just address some things that, even though there wasn't much of a comment section, we've gotten a lot of feedback
Hmm.
from friends and family from all walks of life, and we'll just go through it.
Yeah, that's the plan. This is kind of like the director's commentary, creators react, whatever you want to call it these days. It is just us walking down memory lane from a fun, dumb thing we did about a year ago.
And if we
So
want to be really cynical about this, we're milking the cow.
this is the most narcissistic thing I think I've ever done. We're reacting to
Oh,
our own
no, not
content.
me.
Oh, well, okay.
Bro, this is not the most narcissistic thing that I've done because I own a Discord server with my own YouTube channel name on it.
That's fair.
And everybody's just accepted it as the go-to hangout place online now.
Yeah, that's
Out of
fair.
all of our most of our friend circles. Nothing could be more narcissistic.
Yeah. All right. I'll get
And
this
I
set up
hate
for you.
it. And I hate it.
All right, let's get this set up here.
Are we watching the raw video from your computer or we're
Oh no,
just doing
I'm
YouTube?
just throwing it up on YouTube because that way I can pause it. Does that work
Cool.
for you?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I can't get the video to load on Premiere for whatever reason. It just
Why didn't you just you didn't have the exported MP4 file?
no, I have it, but I mean, I could do it that way. I just think this is
Yeah, I was
easy.
gonna
This
say.
this this is I don't know, man. I just up to
Hey,
I could pull that up.
hey,
I think I got it still.
don't worry about it. Like, we've both seen this video a billion times, so like
Mm.
I'm not even gonna watch it on full volume because I know like every word by heart. And you're the one that edited it, so you probably
I'm the
dreamed about
yeah,
this
like
video.
that narrator
You
sounds
probably
an
had
awful lot
dreams.
like me. So yeah. Okay. So if you
I
can,
wish I narrated more, but let's go on.
yeah. Okay. So you can see everything so far, just like black screen with the YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah,
Full screen this. All right. Ready?
yeah.
Cool. Just let me know if if you want me to pause it so we can chat about something. I'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Picture this. You and your friends are hanging out on a Friday night playing a bit of Smash Bros. Oh, come on, man. I almost had you. At some point, one of your friends starts bringing up the idea of going to get some food. Hey, man, we should go get some food. Normally, pizza would be a good call here. However, the party's winding down and people are thinking about getting a change in scenery. That's when you start talking about fast food places. Familiar favorites are mentioned, but there's also some new places that have just opened up nearby. Your friends throw out suggestions, but nobody wants to agree on where to go. No, man, I want the new place. What do you mean? That new place sucks. We should go to McDonald's. I want Wendy's. Round and round, your friend group continues to debate about where to go while you grow ever more hungry. What if we go to Subway? Eventually, you will make a decision, and it might even be a good one. However, part of you wishes that this was just a little bit easier. Like if, say, somebody created a biased and misinformed definition of what fast food was, and then listed out all the restaurants that fit that definition.
Oh God.
and went on
I didn't
a
even notice this
bit of a
detail.
road trip, experiencing all of them.
Hold on, pause a second.
Which one?
I didn't notice the detail till just now that Subway was just in the corner.
Oh yeah,
just
yeah,
slightly cut off.
right there.
We dug at Subway pretty fucking hard, harder than I thought we would.
Yeah, we did.
I remember when you like were showing me this, and this was like the hardest hurdle that you were going through.
Mm-hmm.
Was the intro. Like this and the outro were like the two hardest things.
Absolutely.
Because you and I went back and forth for like I can't remember how many days on how this intro was going to be put together.
I think it was like a week.
Even now, I'm still even at best, I was kind of neutral with it. And at the end, you were like, calling that a win. We're done. We're done.
I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm sorry. The video is done. Like, I just wanted to, yeah.
But the one redeeming factor was the Subway jab. And I didn't realize there's two Subway jabs in the intro.
Yeah. We're going to go Subway.
It's like, yeah.
I know this is hard to believe, but like, those other voices that were in like the conversation with your friends, yeah, that was me, you know. AAA voice actor right over here, you know.
It was horrible. I wish you had a script and either you, me, and our friend Danny.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
That's still an icon.
Yeah.
Did like a little bit of a script. I wish that we could have done the intro a little bit more better, and I think that was like that was one of the biggest complaints I got.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but one of the biggest complaints I got was the intro.
Let's let the rest of the intro play out, and then we'll discuss that before we get into the real meat.
Yeah.
Okay. And went on a bit of a road trip, experiencing all of them to make the ultimate fast food tier list. You know, that would be pretty good in this instance, but nobody's dumb enough to do that.
God, I look like shit. Hey man, what's up?
Drive-Thru Roadtrip. Oh man. And that's basically what happened, like almost verbatim. Okay.
Okay. Shit.
All right. I think this is a good pausing point because okay, so like let's address the elephant in the room. You and I do not look like that anymore. Or at the very least, like some things about us have changed. And
you think?
Yeah, like
you think?
Man. I don't want to really want to harp on that, but it's like that is one of the reasons why I was like really wanting to record this as a video is just to make it a time capsule of like, here's this dumb thing I did and exactly what I felt like when I did it.
I look at that face and I see pain. I look at my own.
You look at that face and you see pain.
Oh I do. I genuinely do. That was like you caught me at a really good time. Doing that trip and
yeah, you're like,
man.
Yeah, you're like, kid, you don't know how weird your life is gonna be here in a couple months. After you
couple months,
enjoy it. Well,
yeah.
You know, still.
It was good in the moment.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm over there with the camera, trying to be like a director or some shit.
You were. You Jesus had such Christ. A director mindset, and I'm like, dude, why are you putting so much effort into this? Like, it's not like even if you put all the effort in the world, it was not going to be a hit.
You know, sometimes you just got to be Ed Wood. You know, you got to have like all this anticipation and passion for what you do, even if it sucks. All right, that's just the mentality I went into this and every other project after that is just I will do it regardless. But yeah,
whereas I was like, let's have fun with this. You and I took different angles with this. We really did.
And that's exactly why I knew I couldn't do it alone. Because if I went, I would be.
You would drive yourself insane.
I'd just be there like, yeah. So you know, we're here at Wendy's. You know, it tastes pretty good, I guess. Like Baconators are usually what we. It would just be boring. It'd be so boring. I needed somebody to cut through all that. So
and to riff with because we did have good chemistry and we still do.
absolutely. Yeah, look, if I could be honest with you, like I am a little disappointed with the intro. Like I don't think it's
Yeah.
nearly as attention grabbing as it could be.
It's
Some more
pretty
time,
weak.
some more time could have been in there. I am proud of the animation that I put into it, mainly because I hope I'm proud of the animation I put into it, considering it took a lot longer to do than I thought it was going to.
The car animation and the subway jab were the two strongest points.
Okay.
I'll say that. Like
Okay.
that was probably like your strongest point of the intro. But I think some things that could have been done is we should have been a bit more concise with how we were grading the restaurants in the beginning and not have such a. We had too much fluff in the intro and we weren't straight to the point. It wasn't attention grabbing.
Yeah.
We should have done a more Mr. Beast-esque approach. Are we Mr. Beast?
Oh.
No, we do not have that energy. But even especially back then, even more so now.
Yeah.
But we should have been a little bit more.
Yeah, I
concise.
know. Here's what the intro should have been. It should have just been like, hi guys, me and my friend Jayden went to every fast food restaurant in North America. Come with us as we experience some of the highs and lows of American drive-thrus. That's what. Yeah, I realize that now, but again, like Mr. Director Man over here didn't like that.
Again, that's too high energy. That doesn't match our vibe.
That's fair.
Again,
I think
I threw a bottle cap at the camera. By the way,
what?
Demand's saying stop. Just stop. Just chuck right at the camera. Nailed it.
Oh,
just absolutely nailed it. Beamed you.
I think we can harp on the intro as long like forever.
We know it's weak.
We get it. Let's just move on. Let's just move on from it because we got a whole rest. We got a bunch of critiques for day one. I know that for sure.
3 minutes yet,
dude. We got a long time to go.
Good music though.
Thank you.
Yep. That was the big one.
All right. I know, but real quick, once again, thank you to my friend Grant for doing this as the thumbnail and giving it to me and putting up with my directorial mindset.
Even now, one of the best images I've ever seen. I want to. Grant was an absolute star in this.
Absolutely.
And
he did two things. He gave me this sketch to be like, is this what you're looking for? And then I'm like, yep. And then he colored it in. That was it.
He did 3 things.
What was the third one?
Giving us this place to film for day 0.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, sorry. Yeah,
which we'll see in a few
seconds. Thanks for that too, I guess. But yeah, no, Grant, I very much appreciate that. And hopefully I didn't bother you too much with like the nitpicks and the extra stuff, but like this was good. This was good.
I love the pop art design.
Yeah,
it encompasses our personalities perfectly.
Yeah. All right. But first, I live in Colorado and Jacob lives in Wisconsin. So I guess I got to go pick him up. Oh, man.
It's cringe.
I remember this.
Woke up at 2 a.m. and loaded up the car for the insane drive from Denver, Colorado to Madison, Wisconsin. Insanely boring, that is. 14 hours of flat lands and occasionally wind turbines, courtesy of Iowa.
We are crossing the Mississippi River, which means when I get to the other side, I'm back in Wisconsin.
Welcome to Wisconsin.
Woo! Woo!
After you were doing this bit, I didn't know you were doing that bit until literally you crossed into Illinois.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're doing this.
We didn't even really do it that much, like in the video, but like, yeah, every time
you did it.
I was just so happy though.
From Colorado to Nebraska, Nebraska to Iowa.
Oh no, you don't. You don't know. You don't know, man. Like I didn't. I was doing that where every time I'd cross the state line, like on that.
You missed one.
It was 16. Yeah, Colorado to Nebraska. I didn't do that because it was like 3 a.m. But like that drive is. You saw it in the video. It is bad. It is 16 hours like just rushing it, and if you're not doing it with a friend, like you can't switch, so your ass and your leg just go numb very quickly, and
I have done a trip to Des Moines several times in my car, which doesn't have cruise control, mind you. And I said never again the first time I did it because it's bad. I hate driving to the Great Plains. I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a slog, is what it is.
It's just. Yeah, I mean, I put it best, man.
Slog.
It's 16 hours of flat lands, and then you see wind turbines, and you know you're a little over halfway there.
Isn't even,
and you cry.
Isn't even a good rest stop. There isn't even good rest stops.
No, there's no Buc-ee's or nothing like that. Yeah.
No quick trips, none of that.
So it's probably a good thing.
Not even
Yeah, it's probably a good thing that I just skipped over a lot of that. Not even for the video, but like I just was like, hey, I'm gonna just pick you up. Like, don't fly to me. I'm just gonna pick you up.
It was great. It was straight to the point.
Yeah. So
in this part of the video, it was straight to the point.
Yeah.
Which I think we should have had more of that.
Yeah, and then there's this because I felt weird. Here, I'll just let it play and then I'll explain. Getting into Wisconsin, I met up with the friend that I was going to be staying with overnight, and then we went to go get the food while waiting for Jacob to arrive. Now that he was here, we set to work. Okay, so like I didn't record like anything of my time like being there a couple hours before Jayden was ready to drive over there.
You called me while I was at work.
I know, man. I know.
And I remember that I was like, my mindset was after work, I might stop by and I might hang out for like a half hour. But if I was completely trashed, I was planning on just going straight home, resting up for the next, like packing and resting. That was my plan. Till this motherfucker called me.
Yeah, and then I was like, hey,
I will.
You want to do 2 restaurants today?
And I'm like, no. And you said, what if one of them was Rocky's? And then I said yes.
Basically. Man, I'm so happy we did that though, because it just made it so much
better. Me too. I'm glad in retrospect. I'm glad you did. You know, I'm glad we were able to do it, and I'm glad we were able to make a compromise midway through. And you said, okay, we'll do Rockies because it's a Wisconsin exclusive, but we also have to do Good Time.
That's fair. And
I was happy with that decision. I think in retrospect, that was really nice. And I hope when you come and visit me or I come and visit you, we do more local not fast food, but local chain things.
Yeah. No, I think if anything, we learned like the big boys in fast food just don't really hold a candle sometimes to some of the stuff you can get.
We'll get to that part at the end.
Yeah, that's a post-mortem thing.
Keep playing the video.
Let's go. Work on the first 2 restaurants of the trip. First up, Culver's, one of my favorite restaurants and usually people's go-to example for Midwestern food. Now, I had known that I was going to enjoy Culver's after my long drive and gave it an A. However, Jacob was not as interested in Culver's as I was, and in fact, only decided to give the burger a B, but was won over by the pretzel bites, and specifically the cheese sauce, and upgraded his ranking to A. Second for the day was some pizza and breadsticks from Rocky Rococo's. Now, admittedly, the food was a little cold, so it probably wasn't at peak performance, but I still think that Rocky Rococo's is a solid entry in the world of Italian fast food. And
it was the only solid entry.
On the other hand, was way more impressed by it than I was and gave it an S. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
the only one.
Easy S. You had to bribe me to come here with Rockies. You had to bribe me to start a day early.
Shortly after this, Jacob returned home, and I got some much-needed rest on my friend's couch. In one day, I had driven over 900 miles and had 2 restaurants to show for it. Tomorrow, we would hit the road for the real road trip.
That was probably the least productive day.
100% it was the least productive day. Absolutely.
But it was also designed to be the least productive day.
It's the reason why I said it's day 0, because like really we didn't need to do it, but
not. Yeah. But it was a buff. We did it as a last second. You had just enough energy, and I had enough energy after work. You had enough energy after your drive, and we're like, We've
just
got
do
a
it.
little bit in us. Let's just do it. Let's start a day early. I've done that before. That's not the only road trip I've done that. When I went to North Dakota, my grandfather and I were going to go to North Dakota. We were supposed to leave on Friday. Well, I got ready the day before. My grandfather gets ready the day before. He calls me up at like 6, 7 o'clock, and he's like, "Hey, you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Are you?" He's like, "Yeah." "You want to just leave now?"
Yeah.
We
It's
just
like,
left.
can we just go? Yeah.
Like, we were planning on leaving
Yeah.
early Friday morning and getting there before the evening. It ended up being a horrible idea because we were going to stay in the Twin Cities, but my grandfather didn't want to crash at a hotel. And we tried crashing at Alexandria, Minnesota, but all the hotels were booked or too expensive. So we ended up sleeping in my car at a rest stop for like 3 hours. And then and this is my car. You know, you've been in my car.
Yeah, I've seen your car.
And my grandfather's, it was 86 at the time, so it wasn't good for him either. It was worse for him than me.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, and oh, sorry.
And so we just kept going. We stopped at the Perkins nearby, had a delicious breakfast, and then Ironmanned it all the way to our destination, and immediately fell asleep.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like,
and my
I don't
mom
even
and my
know.
uncle, my whole family said, "Don't ever let your grandfather say, 'Let's leave early again.' You need to force him to pace himself." Because I could have done it, but I'm more capable of doing that now than I was even when this video was made. But
some people have asked me in the past, like when not necessarily when they've watched the video, but like when I was explaining to them what the logistics of the trip were going to look like. They were asking me like, why did you? What?
You mean my job, which was my job. My job in the whole thing.
Yeah, I did. Hold on.
Was
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a minute. You helped me. You helped with routing it. Like
I did route it.
You routed it, and then we got all that taken care of. But like the big thing that people were asking me was like, okay, so you're picking up your friend in Wisconsin, and then you're like driving all the way down and then coming back. Why don't you just fly? And it's hey, that
we've discussed it.
Yeah, you're right. Like we talked about that. Main problem. Your car doesn't have cruise control.
No, I didn't. Like
so there was no way I was going to do this with no cruise control.
The thing. 2 things about that. If we had ultimately decided on taking my car, I 1000% would have gone to a shop and had an aftermarket cruise control module installed because they did exist. And I would have made sure to do a bumper-to-bumper inspection and get anything a little fixed, even if it was not going to be an issue, but I knew it was going to be. I was going to have it addressed anyways. The car would have been up to snuff. But we ultimately decided to do this because it was the most cheapest.
Yeah, I just drove my car there because like mine already has cruise control, and I had already planned on doing that regardless of the mileage it would require. So
I deeply missed my car for most of the journey. Your car has 0 chutzpah, none. Double clutch, turbocharged 4-cylinder, doesn't have shit on my car. When you told me your car may have been smaller and slower, I didn't believe you at first. Until we got to about midway through the journey. Like even when we were in the Midwest and going through the Bible Belt, it was fine. But once we got into we'll get to it when we get there. I'll discuss it when we get there. Play the video.
Okay. Day 1 officially begins. I have to go pick up Jacob from his place. It's going to take me about 40 minutes. It took a little bit longer to start than I would like.
Man, I look like garbage. Well, I'm due to leave.
Yeah, you do.
You know I had to keep that line.
Hey, we should go to McDonald's. I'm going to finish getting ready. My rent's going to be here in a few minutes.
Okay, the road trip has officially begun. We're on our way down. Hold on. There we go.
Do you want to hear a not sad, but like a wholesome story?
Sure.
I think I hugged my cat for a solid 5 minutes before I left.
Oh my god.
because I was gonna miss my cat so much. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm so sorry to do this to you, because he gets so anxious when anybody leaves the house for an hour, let alone a day, let alone a week and a half.
Yeah, that was
I hugged my cat for like 5 minutes, and I even cried a little bit.
I was a little concerned about like stuff like that when when I was first looking at people I wanted to invite to this.
Yeah.
How many of them not only have the time that they could dedicate to the project, but also like won't really have a ton of things that they'll be worried about as we're on the road.
Right. Well, thankfully, my mom, bless her heart, was able to take care of my cat, and not only that, but I was able to take the time off work. I was able to because I was working on things. Little did I know that was going to be a can of worms in its own right.
Yeah.
But I still remember the drive, leaving Janesville and then getting on the interstate and then crossing into the Illinois border. Is that in the video?
Oh yeah, here. Let's we'll talk about that like right before we get into like the reviews and stuff. But real quick, I just want to point out like the entire, I think every day we were thinking of different ways that we were going to record the like introduce the day, and then I basically did none of it. I used none of it. Like this is I didn't even want to use this one for a while, but I'm like, it's that or a bunch of boring montage of driving. So I might as well use the footage.
Opted for the montage.
Yeah, but we still did the montage, but it's just All right. Let's watch ourselves again. Chicago. We're gonna try the McDonald's HQ and probably hit up a few other restaurants while we're there. Probably just gonna montage through most of that. Actually, it's gonna be a little bit more involved than just a montage. But while I have your attention, it's probably a good thing to mention what our goals for today really were. See, the plan was to have the road trip last only 7 days, which would mean we would need to have at least 7 to 10 restaurants a day if we were going to get past the 43 restaurants we planned on doing. I know the fancy graphics say 45 restaurants, and that's because we basically had to add a couple. Oops, there it is. Dropped you there. Here, hold on, let me just put you back. Sorry about that. Anyway, we were on our way to Chicago.
You said that in the car!
Knock out at least 7 restaurants. Oops, sorry about that.
In
Some of which we could only find in Chicago, including
we didn't
a particular McDonald's location.
Pause.
What do you mean we didn't do it?
You didn't do the part where we crossed into Illinois. Like you
yeah.
I thought it was in the video, but because
No.
you did do a thing. We did do a bit. But I remember thinking to myself, this is the last time I'm going to be in my own home state for 10 days, and that's going to make me very uncomfortable. Because
little did we know that was not going to be the least of our discomforts. Or that was the least of our discomforts. Yeah.
That was the least of your discomfort. I was fine until I was mostly like the part where I said, okay, well, I'm going to be very uncomfortable being away from home for more than 10 days. That bit was true, but that was the worst of it for me.
Yeah. Let's
genuinely.
I think we should talk about that more once we get towards the end of it, like almost as like a posthumous.
You'll
like
see
a
it.
retrospective.
You'll see it. Well, no, my energy was the same the whole time. Like I'm doing new things, and we're just slowly diving.
Yeah, but hey, we're still very chipper in the video. It's day 1. We have optimism.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we do.
Chicago.
That was a fun day, Chicago.
Yeah, that was. Let's watch it. For those who don't know, McDonald's has their headquarters in downtown
I want to go
Chicago,
next weekend.
which has its own restaurant. It serves.
I'm going to go
everything
next
you would
weekend. I'm going to try and
expect
convince
off of the
Danny, our friend
McDonald's
Danny, to
menu,
go next weekend.
But
Yeah,
it
that'll
also
be
has
fun.
a selection from the international menu, so we'd be able
If
to
he
get
doesn't,
some
I'm gonna
familiar
time to a
favorites
tree.
as well as dip our toes into international waters.
Oh, the onion rings! Oh, they
You're
were
okay with
so
Sharon Spoon,
good.
right? Okay.
They didn't make the
I
video.
still remember the onion rings.
Yeah.
I still remember the taste of the onion rings. They were so good.
From the international menu, we ordered the banana tart McFlurry from
I still
Japan.
remember that one too. That's one of the few things I remember tasting.
It's really good.
Because you mentioned that. Yeah, you'll mention it when we get to the chicken run.
Oh, I quite like that.
Oh,
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Man, my hair
the
looks like shit.
1955 burger from Germany.
Oh, that was so tasty.
Very good.
Everything was
that was
great.
like my favorite burger. That was my favorite
Yeah,
burger that
same
we
here.
had during like the
first week.
yeah, the first half of the trip. I think that was my favorite burger.
That hits different.
Look at my eyes bulge out of their skull.
Just
Jeez. Just like, damn.
damn, that was good. And the
It was
chicken
great.
sandwich from And then there was Pakistan this. and other Middle Eastern countries.
That was the worst of it, but that was even
That's
still
not.
good.
No.
That doesn't look bad.
I'd eat that.
It's grilled
I
chicken,
would eat
so I
that.
don't feel horrible.
I think I ordered that and paid for that out of my own pocket.
This tastes like
That's
if you
not one
got
of the few things I paid for.
the normal chicken sandwich, but you got it grilled.
Yeah.
And you just put it in like a flat.
I think I anecdotally go into why I still like that even
For
now.
me, this is more ideal.
You do.
If I want a chicken sandwich from McDonald's and I want to be a little healthy, this is what I would go for. But it isn't anything to write home about. It's still pretty good. Like, better than average.
They also gave us an extra banana McFlurry by mistake.
Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna complain about, nor did we correct
We
them.
didn't.
We both gave this whole experience a solid S. Okay, so like we only did McDonald's International because you told me
We're
that
driving
McDonald's
through.
HQ. Yeah, you're like, hey, McDonald's HQ has the international menu, and I'm like, so where is McDonald's HQ? It's in Chicago. I'm like,
In Chicago.
we need to go there anyway. We might as well do it. So like the fact that we basically
That was
started.
part of the design of the trip, was to hit a lot of the places at their best foot. So like later
Yeah.
you'll see that we went to Louisville, Kentucky for KFC and Taco Bell, which is where I think it's Yum. That's the
Yes.
corporate company that owns KFC, Burger King, and Taco Bell. They're
Yeah.
all like the Yum corporate headquarters is in Louisville, Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken.
If we had the time, we should have went in and tried to film some of it, but I
The
don't know.
only
We
thing
didn't think of it at the time.
The only thing we saw, because they didn't have like a international restaurant like they do, like McDonald's does.
Yeah.
Or Culver's, because Culver's has one too. And,
Okay.
and Rocky's does actually. Actually, most places have a restaurant, but I think Taco Bell and KFC don't, and I know, and you'll find out why.
Yeah.
They've gotten better. KFC has gotten better. I went to, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
I'll let you
late.
know.
That's
I
day
got my own
2.
anecdote
Day
about
2.
that. Yeah,
We also gave We're not the the Rome mukbang menu a
yet.
try by ordering a bacon quarter pounder with cheese. We
One of a few.
probably should have started with this. Oh, man, burger, that's as it felt depressing. Very underwhelming after these.
Hey, that was
surprisingly
good.
It tasted international fine, menu. but it looks We depressing. both agreed that this was nothing more than an average burger.
it's not the most
I
depressing
gave it a
thing.
C and Jacob No. gave it a B. Having finished our double feature at McDonald's HQ, we drove a short distance to the next Chicago
McDouble
location.
feature. You should have said McDouble feature.
Yeah, you're right. I should have. This particular location was
Oh,
fuck.
yeah.
After waiting about an hour in
That
line
was
for our
fucked.
food,
I
we
had
walked
to.
the short distance over
I
to
nearly
the lane.
pissed myself.
Yeah, dude, we were waiting for like
I was mad about
hour.
the password. I was
hour.
when we got to, we had to get a receipt in order to get into the bathroom because
Oh,
the bathroom
yeah,
had a
that's-
passcode.
that
And it was like
is-
this. It was this
Mhm.
closely kept secret for some reason, and the password ended up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like I was Spaceballs, and I was so mad.
I mean, you
like,
know
when
why
you
they
said
do that,
you-
right?
I know why they did it, but I can still be mad about it. And I
Yeah,
know
that's fair.
we're in downtown Chicago. They didn't want just any old chap walking in and using the restroom and then fucking off. They didn't want that.
Yeah,
That
especially
being
if that any old chap is just going to shoot up some heroin and die in the bathroom.
Listen,
That's
we haven't
why they
gotten to
do
the-
it.
We haven't gotten to the Gary yet. We
Yeah,
haven't gotten
well,
to Gary.
Yeah, we haven't quite gotten there yet. I want to point something
Man.
out. I wanted to get more footage of the Cloud Gate or the Bean. If
I
you're
was
if
the
you're
only
in
one
the
that
know,
got footage of the bean.
you did. But like, here's
I
the
was the
thing.
only
I
one.
was no.
I
This
did
is
it
my
for a
footage.
bit.
This is like what's on screen right now. That's my footage. This guy right here with the you can see my cursor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I am. Okay. This guy right here that's walking towards us with the papers in his hand, he was just handing out flyers and stuff for a charity.
Oh, there's always people there like that.
I know. I get like both of these guys are. But like the thing is, I felt weird recording like people doing volunteer work in addition to
That's
just
why-
recording in general. So I was like, okay, I guess we're going to have to cut this short. So,
I mean, that's why I like my video, which was just a bit.
boop. Yeah.
It was not supposed to be in the video.
In park and enjoyed our 2-piece meal, Beanside.
The chicken wasn't bad.
Yeah, this is after an hour of
The
waiting.
gravy. It was fresh.
I'm gonna lie, it's pretty good. I like the breading.
It's one of the few places
Chicken
that's
was pretty good,
that
but the
doesn't have a
real star
headquarters
of
in
the
the United
show
States.
Was the
Yeah,
gravy.
because it's from the
It was
Philippines.
savory and flavorful. It really elevated the fried chicken into B tier.
Mm-hmm.
We
I
flicked
still
the
agree
bean
with that.
Goodbye and headed to our last stop. in
Yeah,
Chicago.
that was
a
it.
bit.
That
was a bit for me to put on my own Discord server to go, haha, I flicked
I
the
flicked
bean.
the bean.
Just to be like a stupid 10-year-old,
Dude,
you know?
yeah,
I was doing a stupid 10-year-old joke, and
and then I still used it.
you used it. I was like,
did.
hey, you use it. Why'd you use that?
Uh,
And then I
honestly,
took it back.
literally,
I wanted
I had no other
Yeah,
I had no other footage. I have no other footage, so I'm like, okay,
Me
more
having a
cars, or do
laugh.
I do the flick the bean joke? I do the flick the
Me
bean
having
joke.
a laugh was what saved some of the videos.
Yeah.
For those from the Chicagoland area,
Ah.
Portillo's needs no introduction. This particular
Yes.
location was inside of a food court in downtown Chicago. Portillo's is famous for their hot dogs and cake shakes, both of which we
I need
tried.
to go there.
I felt that the cake shake was going to give me diabetes, but in the
Yeah.
fun kind of way. The hot dogs were Chicago style and were some of
It
the
definitely
best
gave me
that fast
diabetes in
food
the
could
fun
offer.
kind of way.
It did.
Jacob gave Portillo's an S, and I felt it was A-worthy. It was time to leave Chicago for Indiana. Gary, Indiana, to be precise.
Oh boy.
Normally, Gary, Indiana
You made
is
it
the kind
bigger.
of place you would want to avoid if you could. Same could be said about
Man.
White Castle's
I wish we had time to walk
Man.
around, man. Gary seems like a
Oh, I
fun
didn't.
place. Gary seems like a
Perhaps
fun
I
the
didn't.
place.
combination of
It was not.
the
Yeah.
terrible place of Gary, Indiana, and the terrible restaurants of White Castle could create some kind of magic.
It did. Oh, yeah, it did.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the worst presentation I've ever seen.
It needs ketchup.
They didn't ask us for anything.
That's all you
Foreshadowing.
cared about is just no ketchup.
Hold
I
on a
have
sec.
no
Can you
idea
pause?
who thought
Yeah.
You're going to have to jump cut this bit because my alarm's going off in my bed. I need to take it.
Oh, okay. All right, we good? Ready? All set?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't turn off anything with like the webcam or something like that?
No.
All right, cool.
Like, you hear me clacking away. It's because I was answering a DM.
Got you. All right.
of steaming burgers as opposed to grilling them, but they need to be stopped.
So,
Okay, those burgers were wet. All right, I'm not gonna go too far into it. They were wet. I hated those things.
White Castle
Hold on,
burgers,
shut
like
up.
sliders that we would throw into a pizza oven.
Would you agree with me?
Worse than that, they felt like they were microwave.
No, this tastes worse.
Yeah.
This tastes worse somehow.
We gave these steamed
It was
hams-
worse because of the smell of Gary, Indiana. Admit that to yourself
By the
for
way,
1
we're on the
second.
strip mall, right off 12 in Gary. That's the only fast food
Oh,
restaurant
yeah.
that doesn't have a blown out window or anything.
Well, hold on, we didn't go around. There's no windows for them to blow out. It's a White Castle.
But,
They probably tried.
they do have a moat of potholes and sludge.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Gary
We
sucks.
That
waved
place
Like,
goodbye to White
disgusting.
Castle
Hey, Gary-
and
Gary
deeper
sucks.
into Indiana. As
I
the
have a
sun
friend
was
of mine that
setting,
wants to vacation to
pulled
Gary,
into our
Indiana
next
one
stop,
day.
Fazoli's.
And I told them
There were
to
very
change
few
your bucket
examples of
list.
Italian
Yeah.
fast food restaurants in the United States, and there may be good reason for that.
That's what we're dealing with there.
I hate Portillo's, man.
Holy shit.
Was
So you
that
don't
like
have
the
any of this out,
first
or is that just
realization you
That is
had
just for you. I
Okay.
told you what I wanted.
during that
You wanted the pizza.
road trip of me having a much bigger mouth and bigger bites than you?
yeah.
Because you called me out
Yeah.
on day 5.
No, dude, I called you out on like
No.
3.
You didn't
You
call-
know, you'll see
No.
it. You'll see it. It's right when we got to New Orleans, but we'll get
Oh,
to that.
okay.
Yeah, we'll get
And
to
I'm
that.
starting to think that you literally just wanted to poison me.
Does my face convey my disappointment?
You might as well be.
No, it
eating
doesn't.
fire. It's not good. It's not good.
Oh man, I love that line.
Like this isn't good. Like the breadsticks are alright, but
This is what-
It's a good it's a
there's
good
some-
line.
I don't know
It's a good
what it
line.
is
I was
about
so
this food.
lucid and knackered
Every
that
time
was
I've eaten here,
I was in some
every
one-liners.
time I've
Pretty
eaten
good
at
one-liners.
Fazoli's, it's giving me the shits.
This was a D for me and an F for Jacob.
F.
If I get the shits later, it's an F.
Fade to
However,
black, fade to
yeah.
black, saying he got the shits.
Yeah, I did not. I did not get the shits. There was
I
yeah,
was
none of that.
mad that you didn't.
Yeah,
was
you were like,
mad.
I
And-
want this to be an S, or I want this to be an F. Sorry, I want this to be an F so bad across the board. And I'm like, I don't think it's bad. It's not that bad.
I
After
know
back-to-back
people in
disappointments,
Wisconsin
we
that
got back on the
unironically
road
love
and got to our
Fazoli's.
hotel in Indianapolis.
Why?
I don't know why.
Despite having binged on fast food all day, we were still feeling pretty confident and decided
Yeah,
that
we
we were going
were.
to walk over to a nearby Steak and Shake for a little extra
God.
Oh
Remember
man,
those
hold on.
Teenagers
Before,
that were like wrecking
Yeah.
the place.
yeah, like I wanted to talk about that, but we had like no footage of those kids. Yeah, there was just a
Good.
bunch of like
Hooligans.
of teenagers that were like or preteens that were just in the
Being
the Steak and
hooligans.
Shake and like getting food, run around the lobby, playing music, all the shit that like boomers complain about. Like they were doing that and we thought it was obnoxious.
It was bad.
And then remember we were walking back after we got our food and like whoever it was that was supposed to pick these kids up just left like 4 of them standing there and they started running after the car.
Good. I was thinking to myself, ha, good. I hope one of you trip and eat shit.
Damn. Yeah, they
No,
were
I
they
think
were
I said
annoying.
that.
Like after
I think I said that
hours of driving.
on the walk back to our hotel. I think I even said, I hope I was so. I think I literally pulled you closer to me and I said, hey, I was really hoping one of those kids would eat shit when they were running after that car. I really was, because at least 2 of them had their shoes untied.
Damn.
I was like, would have been
Oh.
a great day for me. My day would have been that much better.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Back in the hotel room, we unwrapped our snack and got to work. It was just a
Oh
burger,
god, it was
fries,
not a
and milk. All
snack.
of which
was not a
were
snack.
Decently average. C tier for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was I'm glad that we did that because we had to.
mediocre, and yeah,
Yeah, but it was so
We
not
got out
worth
of
it.
the way. Our first
Nope.
full day of the road trip had come to a close.
a lot of it won't be.
We had driven over 300 miles and eaten at 7 different restaurants. Things were looking good.
Oh man, they were about to not be looking good. They were really not about to look good after
It
that.
started off on a high note.
Yeah.
It started off on a high note, and
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
Yeah. Here, while I'm thinking of it, what do you think of like these like the corkboard aesthetic? Because I didn't hear much feedback on that when I was making the video, but I just felt like that
I'm
was the
neutral
only
about
thing you
it.
could do.
I'm neutral about it because okay, what I think about the corkboard aesthetic in this instance is it carries over into real life.
Uh.
Because even in, but I want to address that at the end.
Oh, okay. Then we'll continue.
Yep.
We definitely didn't feel the best waking up on the morning of day
No, we
2.
didn't. We were
But the show must
dreading
go
it.
on. Originally, our
Well,
plan
I
was
feel
to
like
do
shit.
most of today's eating in Kentucky
Yep.
while on our way to Nashville. But we needed an early pee break and noticed that there just so
Pause
happened
for
to
a
be
second.
Freddy's
Notice how
Oh.
shitty the
But
windshield
we
wiper
need-
was. Yeah.
Oh.
How
Yeah. It gets
I
worse.
swear we went through probably about like 7 gallons of windshield washer fluid, or at least it felt like it. We tried desperately to clean that bitch. Didn't work.
No.
We squeegeed it. We used really good windshield washer fluid. The odds were in our favor, but that windshield was not going to be clean.
I'm just so happy that I didn't even consider putting the GoPro on the hood of the car because that would have that would have either
That would have been 7 times worse.
it would have either fallen off or the GoPro would have had like bugs guts
Been
all over
caked.
it in like 10 seconds and it's like, well, that's useless.
And one of us would have dared. I would have dared you to lick it, or asked for $5 for me to
That would
lick
have been
it.
funny. Yeah.
Our plan was to do most of today's eating in Kentucky.
Knowing you, one
while
of us
on our
would
way
have
to
knowing
Nashville.
us, one of us would have done
But
it.
we needed an early pee break and noticed that there just so happened to be a Freddy's right off the highway.
We
pulled
didn't
in to
know
get
that
the-
was there.
No.
That was not in the
Similar
list.
to last night.
No, it was on
Yeah,
the list.
you
It was on the
guys
list. We just didn't know it was that far north.
Desserts.
No,
We were gonna
none
have
of them.
burger and
It
some
wasn't on the
milkshake in
registry
order
of
to
list of Freddy
liven our
locations when
spirits
I
a
did the
little bit
research.
on the morning of day 2.
Right.
Unlike
It was
Steak
not
and
in
Shake,
Indiana.
Freddy knows how to actually make these
Well,
things taste good.
Apparently they were
S
wrong.
tier for Jacob and A for me.
Freddy's themselves
That
is
fun
wrong.
detour out of the way.
No.
We got back on the road and
But it was
started
good.
That's how
It was
new
good.
that Freddy's was. That how
Plan
new
B,
that
we made
Freddy's
some
was.
stops
Yeah.
outside of Louisville and knock out 4 restaurants
And it was
back
good.
to back. Those being A&W, Long John Silver's, Taco Bell, and KFC. Buckle up, folks. We got a
Shit.
Kentucky mukbang on our hands.
We're gonna be screwed. We got 4.
I'm mad.
all in one take.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm vindicated, but I'm mad.
Oh, about the.
Is A&W.
Oh.
Ooh, I don't like the smell. Of
I'm
that.
mad,
Yeah, I remember.
but I'm vindicated.
Those are the fries that we're smelling. It doesn't smell good.
Not really that bad, but
Could be a lot
nothing
better.
nothing appetizing.
This I want to dig into a bit.
Oh, it's
Just the A&W part.
appetizing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's very appetizing, isn't it?
I'll start. I don't even want to swallow it. The A&W's in Wisconsin.
And
better.
I am not a
They're
quitter.
Classic drive-in ones. This was not a drive-in one. This was a drive-through one. I was gonna give A&W like a solid A because that's what they are in Janesville and Edgerton and all the other A&W locations in Wisconsin. They're all solid A's. This one's like a D.
That burger's gooey. That
Yeah,
burger's gooey. It
but-
doesn't really taste like much other than just cheese and whatever the hell Papa sauce is.
It tastes
Yeah,
like
it's
cheese and hot.
It's D.
Yeah.
Pause.
I got it.
James?
Yeah.
James,
Hmm.
vindicate me.
Okay, so we did eventually go. I eventually went back and tried A&W in Wisconsin with Squirrel in the group, right? With Jayden and some of our other friends from the Squirrel Discord. And it was significantly better than what we got in Kentucky. So I think that you are correct in that A&W
Yes.
locations in Wisconsin are much better.
They are.
Speaking of that, though, you still got the footage of that, right?
I do.
Okay.
I'll send it your way for this video.
Yeah, we'll need to splice it in somewhere. But like that was yeah, that was rough. That was rough for A&W. This whole mukbang was rough. I'm just gonna be real with you.
Mad at the time. I think I wouldn't shut up about it for the rest of the trip.
No, and you still aren't. No,
But
and I point that out later.
But I shut up pretty quickly when you came back to Wisconsin and we tried A&W.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't need to say anything more.
Yeah, I was like,
I got nothing.
I was like, I would, for real though. I remember. I know I said that in person to you, but I'm glad you said a B because if you would have given it anything less than a C, I think I would have started a brawl at the A&W. I think I would have straight up started a brawl.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the thing
I was trying so hard to have a straight face when you were trying to eat the food, like so hard when you were giving your. I was every fiber of my body was fighting me.
Yeah, she was like, she's looking at me like, and you like it, right? Right?
No,
Right?
I was trying to be as straight faced as possible, but that was running through my brain,
Ooh, yeah.
and I was nervous. I was
but
nervous because
the
my
good
food was
news
great.
is- No. Good news is like there is hope for A&W. You just have
There
to
is.
be specifically located in Wisconsin, and they have to be the
Or
the
Canada.
diner locations. Otherwise, A&W, go fuck yourself.
Or Canada, A&W of Canada. I'm not even owned. They're different companies.
Ah,
A&W of Canada and A&W of the United States are different companies for some reason.
okay. So
It's actually and most Canadians, like YouTubers that I follow, they all say like, if you ever come to Canada and you want to give a fast food restaurant you think it should have tried, A&W, it's really good up here.
They-
Why yours is garbage?
they don't like what they're gonna do is they're also gonna say like Tim Hortons, and that's coffee. That is a coffee shop.
They're gonna say A&W is one of the better ones.
Yeah.
For some reason, A&W. For some reason, Wisconsin and Canada have like they're with it.
Okay. What I'm hearing is you got to get your damn passport sorted out, so that way we can not only go get some Hawaiian pizza,
I
but also
know.
Anyway, let's watch A&W get a lower score than Long John Silver somehow.
I gotta say D. Because again, if this was Wisconsin, it'd be an A. Let's move on to the one that I'm least looking forward to.
Oh yeah, we dreaded this.
Long John Silver.
Of all the chain restaurants that we're having, it was White Castle and Long John Silver's that I was looking at like, this is gonna be shit.
This is gonna be
It's gonna
awful.
be terrible.
Why was it
be
good?
A lot of them in Wisconsin.
We have like
but
we
they
had
all
no
closed,
faith.
I wonder.
We had no faith.
Yeah, we had
There
zero
we go.
faith.
Now we're talking.
And then you look at it,
Honestly, the fish don't look bad.
and
Oh, we're
that
in
shit
Korea.
turned right around.
The sauce packet. That's Long John Silver branded. Jesus Christ. We're in for a treat, boys.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
honestly,
my
I
word
like
for it.
this more than A&W. Like the burger's better. No, this is better than the burger.
What?
It's not bad. Are you kidding?
I think. Oh, I tried it with the tartar sauce too.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember. I remember the oil. I remember my lips
10
being
minutes
oily.
later, so
Oh,
it's
don't
fine.
worry. I remembered it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unappetizing, but that's the worst.
It was the most memorable part.
I've had fish fry that's supposed to be like beer battered cod and stuff, and it's just not doing it for me.
Right.
This isn't a substitute, but it's better than some of the stuff I've had that's supposed
Even
to
the root
be
beer at
like
A&W was
a
bad.
substitute.
Yeah. While we were surprised by Long John Silver's, it was still only
It was
average.
decent.
So we both gave it C.
If I
it
someone
was-
across
it
the
was
Long John
average.
Silver again, I'll stop in.
It is?
No.
My main phone is.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then
Okay,
this
so before we grab the other stuff, you might
this was a
wanna
reoccurring
move
problem.
your camera out of there
Phone's
so we can,
overheating.
Look at
Mine didn't.
Yeah.
That is one of your phones.
No, but the one that we switched to did.
Ah,
It's
yeah,
that
right,
It's
yeah.
holding up. I'm
No.
The
surprised.
tank.
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
The tank.
Next one.
I still use it. It outlived the LG Fold.
I already have had some
Ooh.
Twist a billion
The tank
times, so
outlived
I know
Fold.
you know what those are about. And this.
Cinnamon tasting styrofoam.
Oh, this has got some.
I don't
Yeah,
know why I
it's-
like the cinnamon twists so much. They suck.
Hear me out. Pause. Hear me out, right? About Kit Kat. I know this is like a bit of a tangent. Kit Kat bars are just chocolate tasting styrofoam.
Okay, like if you're gonna compare the two of them, like I'm gonna tell you right now,
Yes,
like
Brad,
chocolate covered
They're the
styrofoam.
same-
No, chocolate. No,
it's the
no,
same styrofoam texture.
no, it's
It
not.
is.
No,
Kit
one of
Kat
them.
and
Nope.
Cinnamon Twists have the same texture.
I.
They do.
I-
They're shit now. Kit Kats are garbage now.
You know, I haven't had a Kit Kat in a while, so you might be right.
You saw the rebrand.
I don't give a shit what they decide to put on the package. I care what the product looks like and tastes like.
It tastes like shit and it
Hey.
looks like shit.
Yeah. Well, in any case, like cinnamon tasting styrofoam. I don't know why I wanted those so much, other than just I remember my late night
Hankering.
hankerings of going to like either McDonald's or Taco Bell, and then just grabbing like the bean burritos or the beef and bean burritos and just spending like
No, don't
30
make-
minutes eating. It was gross.
I remember when I was, I had several friends work at Taco Bell at Whitewater, and we ended up, there was this thing they were doing where if you did a receipt survey, you would get like a free menu item. Usually it was like a taco or a beefy Fritos burrito or nachos. My friends would call me over to the Taco Bell an hour before they were closing, which is when they closed the lobby. They let me in, and they hand me the pile of receipts that the cashier, like the customers, didn't do for surveys, and they just said,
use them.
"Here, use them. Get a free meal on us." I'm like,
Wow. Okay.
Pog.
Nice.
and I was like, I was writing jokes, and several of the jokes actually made it to Taco Bell corporate.
Oh. Oh.
Like one of the jokes I wrote
no.
was the Cinnabons remind me of my girlfriend. Nice and sweet on the outside, warm and gooey on the inside.
Yeah. It's like I should call her.
And the other joke I wrote was disappointed in the spiked Mountain Dew. Not enough spikes, like real razors in the lemonade. I wanted my mouth to bleed. That also made it to Taco Bell corporate. There was a few of them that actually, because I didn't realize that they actually read all the comments.
Oh.
So I just kept
Girl,
writing
yeah,
jokes.
you should have known. Like they
I
don't get
did.
enough. They don't get enough feedback. They have to read all of them.
Yeah, and I didn't realize they read the feedback, and the
Yeah.
best ones would actually get posted not only on Taco Bell's website, but also at the like on the inside of the Taco Bell restaurant. So one day I walk in, I see some of my own jokes on the wall. I'm like,
You're like,
wait,
"Oh,
were you guys
no."
actually reading these? Because some of these were digs at like some of the employees and the owner of the Taco Bell, because it was a franchise when the owner of Taco Bell drove a Mustang and was like a douche. And I made a few comments about that. I felt bad after that. It wasn't that long after they discontinued the program, because I think they realized that there were a lot of idiots like me. who were
Yeah,
just, like,
of course.
staying after.
Yeah.
But hey, a lot of my coworkers got bonuses because the ones that got the most reviews were getting actual like paycheck boosts.
Good.
Like,
Yeah.
and I was getting like 20 free meals a month out of Taco Bell for a while.
Yeah.
And just using the Wi-Fi, which by the way was not free. I actually hacked the corporate Wi-Fi password for Taco Bell and was just vibing, playing games, eating Taco Bell, filling out surveys.
Yeah, that's when Taco Bell hits good. That's when Taco Bell hits good.
That was my freshman year of college. And it was also the year of the unicorn sex bang.
I don't think we have enough time for that, but that was back. That was back when Taco Bell. We still had hope for Taco Bell.
Decent.
Let's see when that hope died.
Cold.
Right now. I like how you have the disappointing music.
It actually tastes exactly the same. You got something more substantial than I did.
Yes, Taco Bell. Taco Bell is pretty bad in terms of presentation, but
Always.
they're pretty good if you're stoned, drunk, bored. How is it cold? I don't understand.
I still don't understand.
A&W
Okay.
and the Long John Silver's were piping hot, almost too hot.
Okay. Hear me out though. The taste is the same regardless.
It was.
Because it was for my
Yeah, but I
time.
would like the mouthfeel to be better.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than cold burritos. Jacob gave Taco Bell a C, and I gave it a D.
Okay,
Why I give it a C?
When you
I would give it a D now.
when you
Why would I
eat
give it a
Taco
C?
Bell, when you eat Taco Bell, it has the texture of like a diaper, like a filled diaper. So
No,
the thing
don't
I
say
don't want to
that.
have happen is it tastes like a old diaper. Okay, like that. I just don't want the mouthfeel to be like that.
It's just Tex-Mex mush.
Yes, it's still
It's
bad
just
though.
Tex-Mex mush.
It
And
feels
it
like
is
what it's
bad.
going to be like when it comes out later. So that's why I'm like, I don't want this to be cold. I'd rather it be like, a normal
Thankfully,
fucking
this
food temperature.
was the worst Mexican restaurant, Tex-Mex restaurant, fast food restaurant we went to. Thankfully, this was the bottom
Yeah,
barrel.
if we just go off of what I ranked it as, yeah, it was the worst performing.
And what I ranked too. I think.
All right, KFC's next.
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
this joke.
I've got shit to say about this.
Okay, I was gonna say otherwise I was gonna do the reach around.
Postmortem.
I'm gonna put.
Hey guys, we got spork.
Believe it or not, that sport might have actually been the most interesting part about our meal at KFC. Chicken
it
itself
was so
terribly
bad.
presented, tasted
Oh,
okay,
God!
But really was only
How bad it
average.
looked.
We both gave
Okay, we
Should have
Hold
given
on.
it a D.
was terribly.
we
Pork might have actually been.
we think that some people were like, okay, did you like skew the results for
No.
some of this? Because
Wait,
that was
really?
bad.
It was. That was.
Like-
we opened it like that.
That's
what it looked like
exactly.
when
You
we
have
opened
to
it.
trust us. Like I'm sure you've had this happen before. It tasted fine. It looked like shit. I don't.
It tasted though.
I don't know what they did wrong. We're in Kentucky. You would think that like they know how to do it, but I guess not.
Yeah, no. Okay.
What the
Hear
fuck?
me out. They
Hmm.
have gotten a little better.
I would hope
I went
so.
to a KFC for the first time since this road trip because there was a year. Like I went to because I have a friend of mine that now works at KFC. He just started like a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
and I'm like, okay, for him, I'm gonna go to KFC and have lunch. And I had the nuggets because they have nuggets now. That's how long
Yeah.
it's been. Like the gap between this was before nugget, after nugget. All right, so like KFC menus changed since I went there. And honestly, it's a bit more presentable. I'd still give it a C, but it's a bit more presentable. Like this, I was C teetering on D.
Yeah.
Now it's C teetering on B.
If it was cold or if it tasted bad, I would have probably not given it.
Been the most
Just
interesting.
would've probably
hear
not
me
given it
out.
KFC.
Chicken cold is
Chicken
good.
itself was terribly presented, tasted okay, but really
Definitely
was
better
only
than Taco
average.
Bell if
we
it was
both
cold.
gave it C.
Yeah.
I think what we took away from this is Long John Silver's gets a bad rap.
I've given it a bad rap, yeah.
Having
That was the
survived
only
Kentucky
thing we could
mud
take away from that
hit
is
the road and
somehow
had
Long John Silver's
Tyson
was the
number
best.
one.
but their drive-through was
How?
taking forever. But that's okay.
Oh man,
Just
Louisville was
across the
awful,
street
man.
Was a Big Boys. Remember how I
Oh.
said that
Yeah.
we started with
Yeah.
43 and somehow ended up with 45 restaurants? Yeah, this is one of those reasons. We didn't think Big Boys existed in the United States anymore, so we didn't include it on the list.
Original Big
But
Mac.
hey, Kentucky's just full of surprises. Maybe. Just maybe. We found our new favorite.
I'm undecided. I'm undecided.
Okay, all right.
Just
It goes surprisingly
hold
well.
on. Yeah.
That still
Just
happens.
fucking. Maybe
You're
we'll
right.
find a new one.
That
Yeah.
is,
Maybe we'll find a new
gonna
spot
give that a C.
that we like,
I'm gonna
and then
give it
you're
a
like,
B.
I
I'm gonna give that
don't
a
like
C.
this.
C.
I think it's better than A&W, but by
Oh,
itself,
I don't like.
Yeah,
wow,
you
I
did
give
not
a
like
bad-
it. No.
are we hearing that perhaps there was a reason?
I don't
behind
remember
this
the
thing?
taste of this at all. I think I remember the mayonnaise
I
taste.
think
It tastes like
That's it.
mayonnaise.
Again, that is not my kind of burger. If I had the burger of my choice, I'd probably give it a higher rating, but
But it's the big boy burger.
it is the Big Boy burger. And we thought they were, we didn't think there was any left.
Yeah, like I'm happy that we got
were
it. 'Cause at the very
extinct.
least we can.
There- we
It
were
didn't
planning this,
even
it was
list this
extinct.
location.
Well, that was a disappointment.
That and Freddy's.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Our
A few places like
final
that.
stop in Kentucky was Zaxby's. Of all the restaurants
The
that we had
highlight of the
listed,
day.
this one I was the most excited for. You can really only find these
Not
restaurants
me.
in the southeast, and the only road trips that I'd
I had
ever
a good
been
time
on
with this one.
were to the west.
You did.
So this is
Yeah.
going to be a first for me as well as Jacob.
Got some good fried chicken right
Oh,
there. Oh, that changes things.
I'm leaning towards B, but I do think the chicken could be a little better, just a little. There's room for improvement still. It's an
Yeah.
A. It's an A for me.
Nice.
And are you
fries
sticking to
were
your
good.
S, or are you going to go more
No,
conservative with the
I'm
A?
going A. I'm going back down to A.
While we were both impressed by Zaxby's, I think the more impressive part was the fact that we ate something in Kentucky that didn't suck. Lucky for us,
Yeah.
we were moving on.
We made it to C. You missed GPS telling us to make it that we made it to B. Sorry.
Our final
Tennessee.
destination for day
Tennessee.
2.
You
Sorry.
got one of
Nashville,
my
Tennessee.
stutters in.
Vibrant
Yeah, I
city
did.
with a lot of good music, a lot of
I
great
stutter a
food,
lot.
and a very good atmosphere. Of
It's
which we saw
difficult for me to get a
none
straight
because we had
sentence.
3 more restaurants we had to do that weren't even in Nashville.
Oh right.
Now it's time
Oh,
for
man, I
Sonic.
forgot. I forgot
And
about
yes, we walked
You were
over
mad.
to the drive-in restaurant. I know, I'm disappointed. Now there's no way for us to recreate the Sonic Guy commercials.
Kind of glad we didn't, because
That
that would have
would've
aged like
been
milk.
cringe.
It would
How
have
was the
aged like
food,
milk.
at least?
Yeah.
Personally, I thought this was one of the better tasting burgers we had that day. But not
Yeah, it's
quite anything more than a B,
I like
in
Sonic's.
my opinion.
Mhm.
Jacob was very impressed with it and decided to go with an A.
I still like Sonic's.
I get it. I get it. Talking about the sandwich. I get it.
The final stops of day 2 were Shake Shack, which honestly
Yes.
might be more fast casual than it is
That's why I
fast
forgot about
food,
that. Like,
but
oh,
we went to
right.
try anyway.
That's
And
this
Quick
day.
Trip, which was a slider place similar to White Castle, but they were a little harder to find as they're starting to go out of business.
No, that'll do her.
976 at the window, honey.
We found one in New Orleans. We passed it like 20
We
times,
did.
Very polite.
We did.
and we were worried.
So nice.
Back out now we do a little bit of a
And that one had daiquiris.
you know,
We should've gone to that one.
the
Mm.
hotel where we're trying both Shake Shack and Crystal.
Okay, Shake Shack time.
Thanks, Jacob. This time we did it a little bit different. The whole day we were ordering the number 1 off of the
This was the
menu,
first time
or
I cut
what
a
was
thing in
considering
half.
to be the
Yes.
most iconic thing.
And I was like,
from
wow,
each
that was
restaurant.
really easy.
This time, Jacob ordered.
You made it
We
way
went-
more. I thought it was gonna be difficult, and that you were just doing really good. And then I didn't like, wow,
Yeah.
this is actually like perfect.
You were like, okay, let me try this time, and then you do it, and you're like, oh,
We brought our own utensils, and
That's
we
way
almost
too
never
easy.
used them.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, like we could have done so much better with this. But like, look at this burger. Look at this burger. That is one of
that
the
was
best.
nice.
That is like one of the best photogenic burgers.
Here's the thing.
Photogenic burgers we had during the whole
Here's the
trip.
thing.
Mm.
That was also the healthiest burger because remember, I was like, no, I don't want another burger with everything. This was one of the few times I was the one that ordered.
Yeah,
I ordered
I
it with
even mentioned.
avocado.
Yeah, I pointed that out. Like I've been making the calls for what we're
And it's like,
eating.
no, we're eating something that's gonna
Yeah.
be delightful. Because even if if it's gonna have avocado, it's gonna be
Like
really
a
fucking
California
fresh or
style
really
burger
shit.
with a special mayo sauce and
Thankfully, it was
avocado.
good.
More than good.
The avocado was a nice choice. You can't really taste it that well, but you can definitely tell it's there. The texture is there. This is nice. It is. It's nice. I like it.
I got schmutz on my face, don't I?
You sure do.
Story
I
of
like
the
that
whole
a lot.
road trip.
You yes.
I like that a lot. That tastes like
And
It's a nice
Schmutz
switch
on
up.
my
that's a
face.
very nice switch up. That tastes a lot like a burger I've gotten at some bars. It's
And-
a solid A for me.
I think I can agree
A
with
solid
that.
A for me.
Just like the big
Kinda
boy, we have
expensive.
found an extinct burger chain.
Well, they're going extinct.
They went bankrupt.
It's like we found. It's like we found.
I wonder why they're still because they're still going.
Panda
I
that
check
would
in with
service some
them.
of the thickest.
They're still going.
Crystal?
Yeah, they're still
Yeah.
going. Like all the location, like the location with the daiquiris in New Orleans, that one's still going, and the one that we went, like they're still. I can still find them on Google pretty easily.
That's surprising, yeah.
And they're still talked about as well.
Maybe they're not really
So
going
maybe they're
out of business
I
like
think
we
they
thought.
did bankrupt. I think they did go bankrupt, but it could be one of those bankruptcies where it was just a corporate restructure.
Yeah, that's probably it.
French fries that we'd have all week, as well as bacon cheeseburger sliders that were interesting to say the least.
I forget the urge to chuck something across the room.
I forgot I said that.
Yeah.
I forgot I said that.
It's colder than that. We got that like 20 minutes ago. This is cold.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! Did they microwave this bullshit?
Absolutely, they did. You noticed
It was
how lost
bad.
that lady was at the drive-through window?
Is that why? I do have a letter in mind.
Okay, you go first.
The
'cause-
burger is okay. It's not horrible. Not my choice of condiments. That's my only issue. I'd rather have ketchup on this than mustard.
Oh, right. Yeah. Then the music kicks
You did like
in.
the whole thing, and it was hard stop.
And then just...
It's still a C.
Yeah, it still sucks.
That, all
Still
that
sucks.
work and it didn't help it at all.
No, but
Dude, I'm telling you, you can't fix a burger in which the patty sucks.
You
No,
did
can't
convince
fix it. You
me
can
that
only
it's
hide
not
it.
about the condiments.
Like, that's not enough.
You
to
did
hide it.
convince.
I think
This
I'm gonna
was
go
the
with a
place
D.
that convinced me that condiments don't matter when it
Yeah.
comes to judging a burger.
And just like that, 10
This was
more
the moment where I'm
restaurants
like,
off the
okay,
board,
I'm not gonna.
another
I'm
day
gonna stop with
completed
condiment
on the
bullshit. I
Drive-Thru
think I
Roadtrip.
still mentioned it a few times, but only anecdotally.
Yeah.
Morning of day 3. We gotta start off our breakfast right with Bojangles. It's time to get Bojangly up in here.
If he sounds like
You
he's
use my intros more than yours.
Dude, I used all the
Even
footage
though
we
I
had.
was-
I used all the footage we had, and if I
Because
thought it
mine
was like...
just saying, mine was just having a laugh because you were like, "Let's be serious about this." I'm like, "Fuck it, send it."
Yeah, I mean... I don't know why. Like,
I was
I
ripping.
felt like George
I was
Lucas, where I'm
ripping.
like, just trust the director, okay? And then
And
here
I was
I
like-
am making the prequels.
And here I was like, middle finger. Okay, it's just time to get Bojangling in here.
Yeah, it's time to
It
get
is still one of my favorite
Jangly up in
lines.
here.
It's
Yeah.
still one of my favorite lines.
Yeah.
unenthusiastic, it's
We were
certainly
tired
was
that
tired.
day. We were tired that day.
I
Oh,
got a
God, we
fried
were.
chicken
We were
biscuit
dreading the morning.
sandwich, and it tasted fantastic, especially after
Aw, man.
all of
I
the
found a
other fried
place
chicken
local
we
to me
had the
that
last
has
couple
just
of
as good
days.
chicken biscuit
Jacob went
sandwiches.
With the Southern staple,
Oh, perfect.
biscuits and gravy.
Yeah,
Excellent.
it's actually on the list, and
Mm.
I would rank it that place higher now, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, I know, it doesn't sound like we're very enthusiastic, but I mean, it was great to go get good breakfast food from one of these restaurants.
It was
instead of
lovely.
Another lunch menu. Besides, I think
It
we
was
were more
lovely.
focused on the 9 more hours we had to drive.
this
in order to
drive
get to
sucked.
New Orleans for our next stops.
Like the
And
drive.
yes, there were other restaurants that we could have done along the way, but after
It wasn't
doing
the worst
10 of
one,
them
but-
essentially
No, definitely
back
not.
to back the day before,
See, there's,
we didn't even want to think about
we
fast
even
food until we
went
got
through
to
Oh.
Burroughs something, the place where the Corvette was made.
Yeah. So here's the thing that we made a joke about this like scale model of the Saturn V rocket, and it did not. I just did not find a good spot to put it on there. It was because this is right over the border into Alabama, and I know that like
Yeah, Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, like I know that Alabama has a bunch of like connections to Cape Canaveral and like NASA and building rocket engines and stuff. So like that wasn't surprising. It was just more like to see it while we're driving rather than to go out of our way to go see it. That was what I was like, really? But like, yeah, we
Few
drove
first
past
tries
this.
like that during that trip. We also drove by the factory where they made the Corvettes. And
Sure,
there was like
yes.
a Corvette museum. We drove right by the Corvette museum.
We didn't, dude, because we had to hit. We had too much going on. This was
Yeah.
this was a
like,
really shitty road trip, but like
you mentioned it
we
in
focus-
Tennessee. Like we saw none of it.
we saw none of it. So anyway, the joke about this rocket that I made was like, damn, Alabama is people in Alabama are so ecstatic to leave the state that they built a rocket ship.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah,
I'm
you did make
so
that joke.
mad that we didn't get to put that. I didn't have a place to put that in the video, but I just felt like it interrupted the
Honestly,
flow.
And not only that, you would have sounded like a douche.
I accept that because I am being a douche in that. But all right, let's see what Alabama has to offer us.
To our destination. We did stop at Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's!
But it's not fast food, so who cares? Just kidding. Buc-ee's won't be going on the list, but it was
I'm looking forward to Buc-ee's going in.
Back on the
like
road
half
again.
an hour from me.
Let's check in with our...
It's in Colorado.
Up fireworks.
We've been to 20 fast food.
Somebody's letting off fireworks?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I've got noise suppression.
Okay, yeah, it shouldn't come on there.
So we've got 24 to go. Yep.
Welcome to Mississippi.
Woo! Yay!
We didn't even stop in Mississippi.
Stop fucking time.
No.
God damn, alright. Alabama wasn't
It's
bad.
the first time I've ever been to Mississippi. I
but
didn't
to be
even
fair, we did kind of just blow right
drove
through
through
it.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, which we'll do the best. We'll do the same
I
thing
kind
with
of
Mississippi
wanted
too.
to,
Yeah,
actually.
we're about to blow Mississippi.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to see as we arrived in New Orleans, except for this bridge.
Blow Mississippi.
Oh,
I didn't
dude.
even step foot in it.
Yeah,
That
we're
was
gonna.
beautiful.
Yeah, we did blow Mississippi.
Now that's a sight I'm gonna remember for a while.
That was pretty cool.
Where's the
The end of this
land?
breathtaking sight also meant that we were finally in New Orleans and could finally get back on track with our next two stops, which were Popeyes and Rally.
Okay, sorry. I just need to point this out because like every time I was editing this video, when we got to that intersection, I'm like, I am 90% sure that I just blew that as a red light. I blew that as a red light.
I don't think you did. I don't think you did because I do remember an asshole clenching when you go through that direction.
Oh god, it
Like,
looks.
oh god, is this gonna be on film?
Yeah, I know, right? Like that's when I was like, oh man, why does that have to be the only street view of New Orleans that we have through the
Now,
car?
I will say this Rally's was a bop. 'Cause
I
it was
agree.
literally a burger stand.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Oh, and this doesn't really come through on the video, but like the
They're in the
Popeyes,
same parking lot.
the Popeyes and the Rallies were right the fuck next to each other.
They shared a driveway.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't just.
And the Rallies didn't even have a drive-through.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't even like that they had made two different buildings, but like, you know, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about food.
Please. Some
Both
of you
of them
may
were really
know
old.
this as Checkers. It's the same restaurant, just different name. And as you can see, we tried these after checking into our hotel, where we also met
this
up with
is
our friend
this is one of
Danny.
our blunders.
There. Okay. Sorry. Continue.
This was one of our blunders. Was Popeyes. Popeyes was a blunder. For rating.
Oh yeah, because we didn't. Yeah, because we didn't bother with the. Here, let's listen to
No.
the rating and then we'll talk about that.
Yes. And I think this is something we should have taken into account.
Not spicy.
Also, hi
not real
Danny.
spicy,
You know.
But
Hi,
you know
Danny.
how you are with spice? It's probably got the best crust of all the chicken sandwiches we tried.
Yes.
In my
So,
opinion, it still does.
I
And
enjoy
best
that.
bread.
Not my favorite chicken though.
Now I actually
I still don't
love
think it's my favorite
Popeyes.
chicken.
That's my go-to because it's one in Janesville.
That's my go-to. Actually, it's not anymore. But we'll get to that.
Better than Zaxby's.
In my opinion.
I'm leaning towards B. Because I think I gave Zaxby's an A. What did you give? What would you give this?
No, I'm still gonna give it. I'm gonna give it an S.
Okay.
Because I'm a frequent flyer.
Popeyes stand.
I love Popeyes.
Okay.
Even now, because here's the thing. The Popeyes in Janesville, and I know Janesville Center of the Universe joke insert here. It's
I
a
didn't make it
training
this time.
location. It's a training location.
Mm-hmm.
So the Popeyes in Janesville is always going to be good because they're always going to be training people and they're always going to be like best foot forward. It's always going to be by the book.
Yes.
Whereas that Popeyes is sloppy. And
Yeah, not like
that's
in a gross way, just in a we were waiting for like 40 minutes for our food way.
Yeah. I think we should this and also
Jollibees.
Jollibees.
Yeah.
We should have given them a lower rating off that alone.
I'm not.
Like,
Yeah.
I think if we're gonna like the point of fast food is that it had to be fast. And we remember there was a point where we were debating about getting a stopwatch out and timing them. Remember that?
You said that. I was not that surprised.
Like remember when we were considering it? Like that was in the conversation during the logistics planning phase was okay, how are
Oh
we gonna
yeah,
rank
right.
it?
Yeah, for all the
And
restaurants.
we were gonna get a stopwatch and time them. And if it's like more than 15 minutes, we were always gonna knock them down a letter or two. And we didn't do that. We should have done that.
We might, yeah, that probably would have.
Critical
That should have
about
been
the
nice. Yeah.
experience, not just the food, but the whole package. You know, like Crystal's got a half a letter increase outright, probably because the woman was so nice and the food was prompt. But with Popeyes, dude, I had to translate. I had to translate for you because you didn't know. Because
that's true. Yeah, they hit me with the very thick New Orleans accent, and I just didn't get it. And I just didn't get it at first.
And the only reason I knew it was because I went to New Orleans some time ago, like 7 or 8 years ago prior, and my brain still was able to pick up on it.
We're gonna talk about that here in just a minute after we get through this review. But like, just to kind of wrap up what you were saying there, like, yeah, I think there was more than just like the taste that we should have been critiquing with these restaurants.
And all we did was the taste.
But man,
and there were even there were even points where we didn't.
I know, but like, let me say this. Like, this is gonna be super opinionated regardless of like what we do because it's a tier list. That's the point of it. But like, I have never been to Popeyes where it did not take at least 20 minutes to get my food. So like, I just don't like Popeyes because it takes forever and it's not really like that much better than going to like any other restaurant to get their, in my book, it's like they're not much better than a lot of other places. That was absurd though, 40 minutes. I agree.
It was. I agree. And we should have knocked them down a letter because we were in New Orleans. We were in Louisiana. It was supposed to be Louisiana fast. It was supposed to be
not fast.
It was not.
Louisiana fast is kind of like saying Southern hospitality. Sometimes it's correct. Most of the time it's an insult.
Yeah, exactly. And
but
I should have given it a B. Food was A S tier, but I should have knocked it down to a B because of how long we waited.
I think the problem though is like if we were going to factor this is probably more information than we need to, but like if we were going to factor stuff like that in, it would just take. I don't know. I think we would have to second guess a lot of stuff, but we'll discuss that later. Let's continue on with New Orleans.
A better way to do this, and I guess, well, I'll reiterate this at the end, is we should have had a rubric. And I tried to be as subjective as possible. You know, have a rubric.
You mean objective?
That way. Yes.
Okay,
sure,
cool.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Check it Rallies. I have never heard of this place until we started this. Do the fries first.
I lied.
You have heard of this place before that.
Hold the phone.
I remembered it.
My God.
That the first time I went to Tennessee in 2010. Oh yeah, they were identical fries.
Yeah.
I remember that in 2010, I did go to a Checker Rallies and I had the fries and the fries were shit. But that was in 2010. The fries here, really good. And you can get them frozen for the air fryer, and they're really good. I now on the regular buy Checker and Rallies French fries and throw them in my air fryer.
Nice.
On the regular, and it's because of this fast food road trip.
Literally, hey, some good has come from this at least. About time.
It has.
Yeah, you're right. That's weird.
Wow.
Popeyes and Checker fries are identical. You want Popeyes fries, but you can't get them frozen? Just get the Checker Raleigh ones. They're identical. Really. That was a good burger. I don't remember the burger, but I know it's good.
You took a huge bite out of that, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
That was when I was like, damn.
Bro heard one bite test. It was like
challenge accepted.
Yeah. All right.
I used to be a competitive eater.
All right, time to get more schmutz on my face.
No wonder you wanted to do this trip.
It's a B.
Yeah,
it's one of the reasons. Yeah.
It's a B burger.
It tastes a lot like what I
slightly above average.
Hey man, I wouldn't mind seeing that come.
The mic definitely picked up that last firework.
It doesn't need a mic anywhere.
No.
I saw the.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for day 3.
After
this, we walked around and got real food with Danny, and then
Had
just
Voodoo Daddy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad that you remembered that. That's why I put that in there. Holy shit! Let me back up. Yeah. Dude, I love this image. This is my second favorite image that I have. Like my fourth favorite image from New Orleans that we got during this trip.
And got real food with Danny, and then just enjoyed Bourbon Street
good
the rest of the night. Yeah. Day 4 also didn't see a whole lot of action with food.
For the most part, we just enjoyed New. That's my favorite picture from New Orleans.
That image will haunt me for the rest of my days.
Yeah, I won't listen. I'm not gonna give you a lot of shit for this. All right, let's just move on. New Orleans.
I look a lot better in those now than I do.
Do any more fast food
I bet.
reviews.
I'm
gonna include some footage here, but maybe in the future I'll make a whole little vlog talking about it.
So have I. We'll see this on day 5, but like, dude, I fucking look so goddamn fat throughout this whole ordeal. I still am fat, mind you, but like, it's better.
Well, we definitely weren't ready to leave New Orleans, but unfortunately.
Oh, sorry. Before we continue, did you have any comments or anything you want to talk about with days 3 and 4 or like New Orleans?
A lovely time. I told you. I mean, here's the thing. Out of the 3 of us that went to New Orleans, because you, me, and our friend Danny, I was the one that had the least to say and the least to experience because I already experienced it once before. The only thing I wanted to do was drink. And I did drink. That was literally the last thing on my bucket list.
Wait.
Now, of course, we want to do Halloween. But
hold up. Back up, though. You said you had the least experience.
The least.
You had the most experience out of all of us.
I had the most experience.
Okay.
So I had the least to experience.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, because there was just not really a good way to talk about this.
You guys had to use me as a guide. You used me.
Yeah, we did.
You guys like, hey, where do you guys go? I'm like, I don't remember. It's been 5 years. Let's try this way. And it worked. And I remember Danny was like, south is this way. And then the locals started riffing on him.
Dude, he was like, I know where north is. And he points like in one direction. South. He points in a direction. And then a guy on the street's like, north is not that way. It's that way. And he points the other way.
The exact opposite direction.
Yeah, I'm like, this is why Google Maps was invented. Like people like that, or people like us, where we have no fucking clue where we're going, and
you had no.
Our guide hasn't been here for like 10 years.
No, I had a clue. I knew which way north and south was.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's
you were
fair.
like, which way is south? And I started walking south, and you're like, where are you going? Like south. Where else? And Danny was like, no, south is that way. And the random was like, no, your friend's right. It's that way.
Yeah, I ain't surprised. But like we didn't talk about this at all in the video because I just kind of skipped over New Orleans since it's focused on
our vacation.
I get I know why we did it, but like I'm trying to explain something with this trip. I said, hey, we're gonna probably need to go to the south, and you're like, cool. Let's do Popeyes in Louisiana. And I thought about it, I'm like, hey, if we're gonna go to Louisiana, why don't we just go to New Orleans? Like, we need more things to do that are actually gonna be fun. If we're just doing fast food, it's gonna be a nightmare.
You're right. The original route was to go through Baton Rouge, and New Orleans was, I kid you not, an additional like 45 minutes.
Yeah, so it made no sense to not do it, and we stayed an extra day there, so that way we could have our friend Danny come with us. But also, like, I didn't know this until we had already planned out a lot of the trip. You've been to New Orleans before.
Yeah.
And, like, so going back there was sort of like a nice little bonus for you. And
it was nice. I loved New Orleans the first time. I loved it the second time. Like, I know I'm not much of a drinker. I know I'm not much of a partier. But I did like experiencing the French Quarter the first time and second time around. And the beignets were a lot better this time around the first time.
Absolutely.
Beignets were fire. I remember, the funny thing is, we went to the exact same place, and I ordered the exact same thing both times. Beignets and a large Sprite. I ordered the exact same thing both times, like 7 or 8 years apart. And
dude,
I'll probably do it again
the next time. The coffee at Cafe du Monde is also really nice.
Cafe du Monde was amazing.
Yeah. Beignets, some coffee.
I should weigh into this. You know that jazz club we went to?
Yeah.
And it was the oldest jazz club on Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Guess who was at the grand opening?
No idea.
My grandfather.
Oh,
he
really?
Went to the grand opening of that jazz club. Jazz club. He's like, oh yeah, I went there for Mardi Gras because that was the grand opening. I'm like, you're kidding.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
What? No, apparently my grandfather back in the 50s and 60s was a frequent flyer of Mardi Gras. He went to New Orleans 14 times, and at least 10 of those times it was Mardi Gras.
Nice.
Him and his friends would go down and just experience it in the 50s and 60s.
Dude,
you know?
Yeah.
So I
kind of want to experience it.
My old grandpap was like one of the OGs experiencing Mardi Gras when it was just starting to get traction and just when jazz was starting to become a thing in New Orleans. Like, I guess second wave of jazz, because the first, of course, the 1920s and 30s, and my grandfather was an infant back then. So he was in his like 20s and 30s during the second wave of jazz in the 50s and 60s. So, and was experiencing it as all the old school jazz clubs opening up that are still open were opening up. Which I thought was funny. Like, I couldn't believe it when I came back and I was like, "Oh, I went to this jazz club." He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that place. That was pretty cool."
He's like, "Oh yeah, that place."
And I went there at their grand opening. I'm like, "You what?"
That's cool. Oh, yeah. It was nice because like we all haven't really. Two of us hadn't been to New Orleans. You've been there, but it's been like a decade or more, and so it was just a good stopping point.
It was 5+ years because I went there, I think, my junior to senior year of high school. So I was 17 at the time when I went. The last time I went.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was
okay. It's been a while.
It was 7 or 8 years. Yeah.
Okay. So at some point, I need to get all the footage we have of New Orleans, and then just do like a little, a tiny vlog, because honestly, there's not much to talk about since we were only there for like basically a day, like a day and a half.
Day and a half, yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, yeah, there is a bunch to talk about there. I could make a little video about it. My grandma still wants me to make a little video on it because she's in love with New Orleans and riverboats and stuff like that.
My family has told me that I need to experience either Halloween or Mardi Gras at least once now. They said that's like literally the last thing you need to do.
I honestly,
I've done literally almost everything else.
I'm right there with you.
Like,
That's what everybody tells me.
The only thing that we didn't get to do was the VW, like the World War II museum, I think it was. But I think Danny went, and our friend Danny went, and he said it wasn't really that worth it.
Our friend Danny. Yeah, I mean, but like, he went alone, so that might have been the problem. Is like, we weren't there to like cheer him up.
Here we go. Here's the thing. Danny does know to have a vacation by himself. He's done it multiple times.
He
knows how to have
fair.
a good time. So I'd like to. So if he says this place kind of sucks,
he's probably right.
And remember he's probably right.
Yeah, that's fair.
And not only that, we know what his standard is for what's good. Yeah. So if he's saying something sucks,
okay. So
and we'll get to that.
Let's Day
5.
Day 5. We had a good time. Days 3 and 4. Now let's watch us die on the inside and out. We had to move on.
What do you mean?
Plan
First place to stop that Day 5 was great.
From New Orleans all the way to Dallas, Texas. And
we'll talk about that
in
a minute.
Way more restaurants than we initially thought to make up for the day prior. And as you might have guessed, there wasn't a whole lot to see as we drove on and on.
You were dead inside by the end of the day. I was concerned.
Yes, it was annoying to have to drive this long in order to get to our destinations. But what sucked even more is knowing that our destination was another fast food place that we might not even like. There was definitely some fun times and some genuinely good restaurants that we had been to in the last couple of days. But honestly, the prospect of putting that much stress in my body through adding more fast food to my stomach was starting to get me a little nervous.
Just wait.
And because of that, we decided we were going to stop for some Texas barbecue to try and shake things up a little bit. And
no.
We were you
didn't mention the other one.
Rudy's. And yeah,
you didn't mention the other one.
Brisket sandwich was good, and the sauce was
the other one.
Triple
A.
Now, a lot of you
hold on, I got it written down. Hold on, I still have it written down.
The gas station. Right.
Yeah.
We didn't have any footage of it, so I skipped it. You're right, I did skip that. Yeah, because you just took down the address, and then you were like, "This place is pretty good," and then I'm like, "Cool, we're moving on." Yeah,
I have the address.
Good. Okay.
If I drive back down to New Orleans, and I will drive back down to New Orleans again, I won't fly. I probably drive once I get a better car.
Fuck, I forgot.
I will stop at that barbecue place again.
I forgot about that. Damn.
Yeah, that was so good. Okay. For the audience, I will look up real quick what the place was called because it's very easy to find. Because I actually have a little thing on my Discord server where I write down all the really, really good places I like going to. That I would like literally kill a person to go to again. So,
tell you what, go ahead and get that information, and then we'll talk about that at the we'll talk about that later on. We got a long way to go for this.
I think. Yeah, go ahead, but I'm already almost to it.
So probably realizing the mistake that we just made. Don't worry, we'll come back to that. For now,
Rudy's was a mistake. There's just no other way around it.
Texas.
That was a mistake.
Schlotchkis.
It was good, but it was a mistake.
3J's four-way.
Now,
3J's four-way. It's called 3J's four-way.
Yeah, so we had a 4-way while we were in New Orleans, or leaving New Orleans. It was a pretty good time.
It was.
That's what you missed.
I can't pronounce the name. It's French. I'm gonna DM it to you and see if you can say it.
Okay.
That's
okay,
the town it's in. That's the town it's in.
Oh, yeah.
Natchitoches. That's my attempt. Natchitoches.
Yeah, I think that's close. I think that's going to be closer than if I try to pronounce it. So, Natchitoches. It's not Spanish.
It's on a corner of two really small roads that were kind of out there, but we needed gas and we needed.
It's a gas station, middle of fucking nowhere. I think
it was in the gas station from the outside looked like a shack.
Yeah.
For all intents, it looked like a shack.
Yep.
And we went inside because we were desperate to use the restroom, and the most lovely barbecue to ever grace my nostrils wafted its way into my nose. I'm like, you know what? I can eat. I'm on a fast food road trip, and I can eat. This is a rare opportunity. And I bought us both some chicken. It was lovely.
Yeah, it was very good.
It was fantastic. I finished it, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like they had a massive menu. Like the shack had wall-to-ceiling menus of like 30,000 types of marinades for their chicken, and it was amazing. I would highly recommend you go to 3J's 4-way in Louisiana off of LA1.
Not sponsored.
Because that's the name of the road. And Natchitoches, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that right. I am sorry to the entire state of Louisiana.
I'm not. You all have some weird damn names down there. All right. I file taxes for that. Like, I don't know. It's French. It's weird.
Yeah, but Wisconsin's not much better because we're Native American, German, French.
It's not a contest, man. It shouldn't be a contest. All right. So okay. So we had
calling the kettle black here.
So we had some good. We did have good food throughout day 5, but we had too much of it. It would seem that was the problem.
Where was that? This is Schlotzsky's.
Into Whataburger before.
This is
Whataburger.
This is Whataburger and Schlotchki's.
But Schlotchki's, that one I don't know anything about. It seemed like an Italian bistro place, so we were definitely interested.
Because it's an Austin location. That's why we don't know anything about it.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, this is more like a shaved meat sandwich, so that's a lot closer to just how a sandwich would work.
Smell the mustard. They put mustard on it.
Is that what I'm smelling? Oh, that is absolutely what I've been smelling.
Schlotchki's is weird, man.
Yes.
I don't know what they're
doing.
Yo.
Oh, nice.
How very nice of them. You don't watch Schlotchki's?
Bonus
we
points.
See ya.
It was great that they pre-cut the sub for us.
We gave out bonus
Problem is,
points
we
to
didn't really find
Schlotchki's
chips
just
or
for the
subs very
fucking.
interesting. We both gave it C.
We still gave it a C.
Yeah.
We still gave it a C. It's not like
What's like I can't. Okay.
It was like cool. That
by
was
the
great
way,
it was great that they pre-cut the
comparison to
sandwich.
Schlotchki's. There is no other. Like I was at Arby's. No.
Absolutely
no. Schlotchki's in its tier of its own because they have a shaved meat sandwich where they put mustard on it. Yellow mustard.
Dude, I'm starting to think that you just don't like mustard.
I do.
And that's like because you were hung up on this more than I was because like I was just surprised that like the mustard was cutting through everything else on the burger. I like mustard. I'm not a ketchup guy when it comes down to like sandwiches or hot dogs or anything.
I love me some honey mustard. Okay, like, and there's even some yellow mustards I will gladly put on my burger. In fact, you're making me hungry right now. I might make fry myself a burger after this. But still.
Okay.
Move on.
Yeah. And then it was time for
Schlotchki's
Whataburger, which our only comments were it was a big burger
that was a huge
and it needed
burger.
ketchup. We did like their fries though. It was the C tier. After that,
I was really
Chicken,
impinged that
Raising
day.
Cane's, and Chick-fil-A. I'm sure there's some of you that
The
have
chicken
strong
run.
opinions about Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But first, we have to talk about churches. Back-to-back chicken places. Oh my god.
Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah,
I was
bone-in
wrong.
chicken right there.
Churches was not the one that opened up in Janesville.
Oh,
But that's okay.
I'm a fan.
We'll get to that.
That's a good biscuit.
That's a very
good biscuit.
I
The main
do like
event
that
though
biscuit.
is still
It was honey glazed.
chicken.
Chicken was good too.
That is very juicy.
Yeah, I could tell you liked it.
I'm looking forward to having this.
It was
in
good.
Janesville.
Yeah.
That wasn't
That's
the one
good.
I went to Janesville.
I actually like that a lot
It
more
was.
than I thought.
It was supposed to
right.
be
They
churches,
also
but it ended up being something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn down the volume on the video right now.
Oh, I have mine down quite a bit.
I know.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they got. Oh, it's more waffle. It's more crinkle cuts.
Ooh, I don't know how I like the smell of that. That's got some funk to it.
Yeah, I guess we'll just try that.
Funk.
The taste is better than the smell.
Chicken was probably my favorite of the like traditional fried chicken stuff that we've been getting. It's way better than KFC.
The fries are decent.
Yeah, the fries are the only sticking
I
point
wouldn't
for
probably
me.
go for fries.
Mm.
Biscuit.
I go for an extra biscuit.
That's
Yeah, that biscuit was really good.
That's
That
good
biscuit was really
biscuit.
good.
The chicken's pretty good. Wouldn't go for bone-in. I don't know if they got like a chicken sandwich or a chicken nugget or something like that.
I bet. Yeah, if they
I
had
looked it
that
down.
breading as a chicken sandwich, that'd be a solid A tier for me. But right now,
That's what I'm
bone-in,
leaning at.
it's B.
Well, I'm going to
Yeah.
A because I'm going to go to churches a lot more because they're right by my workplace.
All right, so churches
And they're no longer there, or they're not there actually.
chicken put up a
No,
good
a different
fight,
chicken place opened
and
up
we
instead
really
of
enjoyed
churches.
it, which was good because at this point we
And
were
it's one that
starting to
we
wane a little
gave
bit,
a
or at least
pretty
I
okay
was.
rating.
Yeah.
So it was good that at the very least we were happy with something at this point.
But the
We were
location
not
I go,
happy
I
with
know
Raising Cane's and Chick-fil-A.
we'll get to it.
Both
I'll
have
talk about it when we
okay
get there.
food with a great dipping sauce that we got none of. And normally this wouldn't piss me off, but in this case, after eating so much fried chicken, I just wanted some decent
You
dipping
became
sauce.
irate.
And we got none of it. So yeah, Raising Cane's, you're only C-tier food as far as I'm concerned. And Chick-fil-A, you forgot our sauce and you hate gay people. You're an F.
If we're gonna talk about things I get shit for from people that watch the video, or they just ask me about like our criticisms. They look at the board and they'll see like we put Chick-fil-A at F, and they're like, "Why? Chick-fil-A's so good. Like, it's all
Actually,
about
I
the
have the
sauce, man."
opposite.
I'm like, "Yeah," and
I
they
have the
fucking
opposite.
forgot.
I had the opposite. I get more praise for. I get a lot of praises for us being put in Chick-fil-A and F tier. I get a lot of praises, but you and I live in different ecosystems. You live in a different ecosystem compared to me. Like obviously, with me being trans and
Oh,
me
yeah.
being in a homosexual relationship, and all that. Like obviously, with me being me and me being in the kind of ecosystem that I'm in, I am going to experience a lot more LGBT people and also have more of a liberal. I'm part of a more liberal community, and that's going to be at least online. So I'm going to get a lot more praise for giving it F than you will, just by the proxy. Like I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to be offending or anything. It's just like you tend to have a much broader scope of people that you hang out with than I do, and that's not that is kind of a happy accident. It's a happy accident.
Wow, holy shit,
okay?
that is. Oh man, dude, that is
Yeah, you go out to bars, you hang out, or you have a broader
You need
scope.
to.
I do pinball tournaments.
You need to like.
I
You need
do
to
go out
calm
more.
down sometimes. Just
Just
call
that it's just
them
fun.
what they are. Like, James, you hang out with more Republicans than I do, conservatives than I do.
Yeah, you do.
You're right, I do. I mean, like,
I was just
that's
trying
fair.
to tiptoe around and be nice.
Yeah. Well,
and
in
I
any
failed
case,
and made you look like even more of an asshole.
well, in any case, yeah. If we're gonna talk about like the things that people are gobsmacked that I did, where they're like, "What do you mean you hate Raising Cane's? What do you mean you hate Chick-fil-A?"
Cane's was okay.
Okay. We were gonna give Chick-fil-A an F regardless because of the
Oh,
fucking
yeah. We discussed this.
the
a long
nature
time
of
ago.
because of the nature of like them not them
the
having
company.
some issues with the gay community and shit like that. That's just like, nah, I'm not supporting them.
I took it
at all.
personally.
So, but like Raising Cane's, I was like, yeah, I've tried it before. Their sauce is like the best part, and they fucking forgot it.
Did
And they
Raising
just-
Cane's forget their sauce?
They both fucking forgot our sauce. Yeah, that's why when I tell people like, yeah, I gave Chick-fil-A an F, I don't bring up the gay thing because like that's just just too hard for some people to explain sometimes. So I just go
Oh,
like,
no,
they
not for
fucking
me.
forgot the sauce.
Not for me, because again, I hang out with a lot more
'Cause they already
Democrats
know.
and
They
liberals
just
than you do.
know. They get it.
'Cause
They
they
look at that,
know.
they go based, and then they move on.
Exactly. I've
I
gotten
say
more
I say
compliments for
that, and then they go, "What do you mean? It's so good." And I'm like,
I get people say, "Did you actually go to Chick-fil-A for the past week?" I'm like, "Yes, for the sake of completion, I did," and then I immediately gave it an F.
For the sake of
and
completion.
before you even took I did.
I was hoping they would change
that's-
their mind somehow. I knew they wouldn't, but I was kind of hoping they'd change their mind. But they fucking forgot the sauce, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Even if I'm just gonna say it right now, like even if you had no problems with them, like as far as like a liberal versus conservative, whether or not you knew about them having a problem with the LGBT community or whatever, the issue is they forgot our damn
the
sauce.
And their fries are mid.
Yeah, everything else about the restaurant, like, it can go fuck itself. But, like, specifically, the one nice thing is that they have good damn sauce. And we got none of it.
Which is leaked online.
All right, moving on.
You can make your own sauce.
Moving on from that incredible disappointment, we have Dairy Queen. But not just any
Yeah.
Dairy Queen, the Texas menu at Dairy Queen. You might only go to
That
Dairy
was
Queen to get your
good.
desserts. But if you do get food there, you'll notice that they sometimes tailor their menu to have regional tastes. And in the case of Texas, they have their own menu with things like nachos and chicken fried steak.
Please.
I'm a spice fiend, okay?
I am not. I will go, oh no, you're not.
Of course I am.
Even now, I think people are insane for eating jalapenos. My mom does it. My boyfriend does it.
I'm gonna break this down. This
Yeah.
half is what you would expect to see.
We are insane. That is correct.
Yeah.
A baseball concession stand
You are.
has
Yeah.
nachos, right?
Yes.
And then this half is almost like, I kid you not, it's like you walked into a Mexican restaurant and then just dumped it into.
Here's the thing.
a
Anecdotally,
different bag.
when we were at the
It's-
Dairy Queen,
they're
this was
really
the one
good.
that day I was the least
They're
looking forward
really
to.
good. They're not like,
Yeah.
they're not too quick.
Well,
Like,
I'll
I
be
was
the
kind of
judge of
dreading
that.
it.
Wow. No, they're just restaurant style, Mexican style tortilla chips. What the heck?
It's just the
Country
country
fried
fried
Those were some of the
steak.
best
Yeah,
tortilla chips I've ever had.
They
Yeah,
still
I
get
know.
the
It was
steak
weird.
of-
I
ironically
know.
enough, you can
They got it
still
from
get
a
this
fucking
with
Dairy
normal
Queen.
standards, But this is the,
Texas toast.
Texas toast. It's
With the
just
fries.
bread.
Which wasn't bad. This I was
You look pleased with
lukewarm
yourself.
about.
I really
I'm
liked
very
it.
sad they don't have this.
But I really liked the
These are
nachos,
really
which is
good.
why I gave it a high rating.
Okay,
No.
now I gotta try
Yeah,
this.
these are really good.
Because I'm not a huge country fried steak person.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge
Nope.
country fried steak girl.
Oh, it's suspicious to smell.
Yeah, I was. I was scared.
That's pretty good.
The gravy
Yeah,
was.
it
what
was
sold
better than it had any right to be.
God damn, dude.
But it's not like the
We
best.
get what, a steak sandwich, and they get
at one location.
yeah one location, and they get like this. Like
And
this
the
is
entire
awesome.
We still need to go to that one location.
I know what my
Oh,
letter is.
the
For Texas.
Plymouth one?
Dairy
Plymouth
Queen?
Dairy
Yes.
Queen. Yeah, Plymouth Dairy Queen. For the steak
Really?
sandwiches.
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
I
I
wouldn't
want
give
it-
it that high,
I
but,
want this. I want this now.
but I'm feeling an A because the fries are gonna be what we expect. Same thing with the
Oh
toast.
yeah, that's okay.
I'm giving it an A. I'm giving it an A. No, keep your S. I'm giving
yeah,
it
I'm
an
gonna
A.
keep it because what I want is like if it's S in my book, it's like if it's not by me, I want it there, and this is exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas finally has some good stuff for us.
Good
It was at this point that we
God,
You didn't
decided
look
we wanted
great.
to
I
do
was
this.
You did not
so
look great.
bad back
We
then.
were
man.
both.
chicken.
Listen,
Why
I didn't
is
have.
there
I've
no
had
chicken?
some less than flattering thoughts. Oh God. Oh,
Get it out of your system now.
I did. I
Okay.
screamed.
Oh, yeah, this place sucks.
Oh right. Yeah, this is Chicken Express. We didn't know about this place.
Oh,
until we
man,
got
it
to
looks even
Texas.
worse now that I'm seeing it
This
again.
place sucks.
Oh god.
What the fuck?
It's so slimy. Like,
It was
that's-
slimy.
That's not right.
Here, hold on. Let me get in on that.
That's really slimy. That feels
That is
slimy.
bad.
Man, it looked just as bad in person.
You got nothing but breading on that bite.
Sadness. Look at the sadness. I look so sad. I'm like, I'm doing another bite and I'm gonna regret and hate myself. Look at that face of
Mhm.
sad.
Now that's the face.
How is it? Or
It
you know
tastes
what?
like poor man's Popeyes.
Oh no.
Poor man's Popeyes.
That is not what you want to see.
Oh man.
Biscuit.
That's what I'm trying. I'm scared of this. Good God.
That was the driest biscuit.
Look at his face. This is I think your lizard brain took over your face at this point. Damn.
I'm crying.
Oh my god.
That was a horrible biscuit, okay? That was a dry biscuit, man.
Holy shit, yeah, it
Oh,
was bad.
God.
It was really bad.
That
Yeah, you know what?
Hold on.
I think I know.
I want to try their soul French fry. The one that's in my. I almost wanted to get the French fries, but I knew you wanted fried okra.
I haven't tried fried okra. I'm not really. I don't hate it, but I need to try good fried okra.
That's nearly edible. The French fry is the most edible thing in the whole.
Really?
Thing. It is the most edible thing in that whole box.
Yeah, I was surprised
My overall
that somehow
experience is F.
they did okay on the fries.
This is an F tier. I wouldn't want to go here ever again. I would look at that, go ew, and walk away. That chicken is
Still
slimy.
do.
Yeah.
Oh god, it looks so
Oh
bad.
man.
Oh,
It was so bad.
Then a
Fuck.
Civil War tack cracker.
Oh, hardtack?
Hard tack cracker.
Yeah, dude. Holy crap.
The only thing that's enjoyable about this whole Chicken Express experience is that it has a very delightful cup with delicious high C fruit punch, which you know is just high C fruit punch.
And you're gonna need it with that biscuit. I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. That's F.
It was bad.
It's not like
We
the
found
worst.
this. We did last minute research. We were like, oh, how have we never heard of this? That's why.
Now I would have loved to have.
We were like, hey, did we miss something? What if that's the one we really like? We have to try it.
No, it ended up being so much better.
God.
For content, it was better.
No,
For our enjoyment, way worse.
We had to know. We had to know. We needed to know.
Man.
Yeah.
3 states. It barely met the threshold. There are literally hundreds of those places all over the place. And my mindset is it's just a gas station chicken place.
Yep.
And they're just everywhere because they're a gas station chicken place.
So like my thought process,
There was this one dude when I was walking into the lobby that was like hyping this place up too. You remember that?
Yeah, the fucking doorman or like the dude behind the counter at the hotel.
It's like, yo, you got a Chicken Express. This place is awesome. Yeah, you're not from around here. Like, no, we're from Wisconsin, and we're trying every single fast food joint in the United States, and this is on.
Shouldn't
We
have told
didn't know
him.
this place existed.
Shouldn't
Oh
have
yeah,
told him that.
right. Okay. Keep going. Calling the kettle black there. Keep going. Press play.
Yeah, I remember that now. No, no. I meant more like you shouldn't have told him that because then he wouldn't have hyped this place up. We could have just like gone right by it, not worried about it at all.
Oh, but we should. Then we.
It was worth. It was not worth it, but it was so worth it for just the reactions.
My face alone sells it.
Yeah,
I'm just mad I paid
my
Discord server.
I'm just mad I paid for it.
Yeah, you gave me your card.
I gave you my card, and I'm like, go get us the
you
food.
went for a swim.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a swim. If you're wondering why my hair was better, if you're wondering why my hair looked better from one shot to the other, it was because I went and used the pool and got a shower since I felt.
And if you're
gross.
wondering why my hair looks like shit and why my hair is halfway decent now, it's because I had no sense of self-preservation at the time.
Speaking of that, we're about to see me lose all hope here in a second.
I was actually
This
still
is
like
the
in a
last
great
thing we
mood.
did that day.
Yes.
But
At the end of that
unfortunately,
night.
we still had more restaurants to go to, and I was
You were
fading.
sad.
There it is.
Remember when we
You
had
were-
Rudy's earlier today?
Oh,
and I
that
said
was-
that was a mistake.
I had
Yeah,
less,
that was
less
starting
than
to
you
take
did.
its revenge out on
I
us.
know.
Combination
I
of
know.
Rudy's and all the other fast food that we were having.
Like
that
I
day,
took a few bites. I'm
I
like,
feel like a
this is gonna
big
be bad,
fog in my
and I just
stomach.
set it down like,
So as
this
you
is
can
gonna,
imagine,
this is
I
gonna
wasn't
get,
very
this is
thrilled
gonna
to
hurt
go
me.
out and get more food to finish out the day.
It did.
The whole
It did
time
hurt.
of us going to get this last
It
bit
did
of food
hurt.
just felt like a big
It did.
blurry mess
I could
for
tell.
me. It was just one drive-through.
Where
line
I was
after
just like
another,
having a great
and
time. I was
more
just
and
tootling
more
along.
Yeah, that's why I let you drive.
It's fair to say
Let
that
me
once we got
drive.
back
Probably
to
Probably
the
would've-
most
hotel
of the
room,
filming. I
we
carried
wanted
our
to stay
asses
to
for
go.
the last 4.
Starting off with
God,
Burger
yeah.
King, we went with the Junior Whopper. Now the
Would've
flame
gone for the full Whopper.
broiled patty does taste
I want the
distinctly
Impossible,
different
you wouldn't
than
let
some of
me.
the other restaurants we had eaten at during this trip. However, the rest of it was very literally a nothing burger.
Yeah, so I wanted.
I don't remember a lot from this part of the video. I'll be honest with you. I had to like.
I do.
Of the Tex-Mex places,
when I was editing it,
I fucking salsa that we had.
I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. I did that a lot.
Didn't really taste like anything. They had a very satisfying crunch though.
I was with it with that one.
We decided to give it a C.
They were okay.
Third up was In-N-Out, which I had been to a few times before this trip, but this would be the first time that
People were
Jacob was
hyping this up for me a long time.
Okay, I'll take the hype. I get the hype.
I remember.
And you got it.
You know what?
Yeah, it's okay.
You know what the sad part is?
Hmm.
You know what the sad part is?
Yeah.
I don't remember the taste of it.
Oh no!
I don't remember it.
No, we liked this one too.
Yeah. Here's the
Oh,
thing,
no.
right? I'll talk about why in the postmortem of this. Video.
Right, yeah.
I will talk about that. About which ones were memorable, which ones I kept going back to, and why those took out more for longer than the other ones, which just slowly started to fade. Schlotsky's I remember more than this.
I don't. I don't, man. It's been so long. We had so much other food.
While
the burger itself
They're
can
smooth.
hold its own,
It's
and
rare
the
for
fries
me.
are
I
average,
almost never get
the real
smooth.
star of the show is
Oh
still
nope, there it's
that
gone.
burger
I left it off my
sauce.
face.
If you go to In-N-Out, I would highly recommend that you get as much of that sauce on your burger
You sounded
and on the
so
fries
dead,
as possible.
even
in the narration.
Even both of us. We
Yeah.
highly recommend it. And finally, Jack in the Box.
Day 5
which
sucked
it
to
has
edit.
An expansive menu, and we could have tried any number of things
It's
on there.
so annoying.
We decided to go with a mushroom Swiss burger and the
That
French
was so
toast
good.
sticks. Now,
That was
I
so
only
good.
tried the mushroom Swiss burger because I don't think my stomach could really handle anything sweet at this point.
You were
But I
fading.
thought it was
You
a
were
decent
passed on
burger
the
and
bed, and I
decided
was
to give it a B.
cleaning up
Jacob,
the
on the
food,
other
eating
hand,
it all.
liked the burger, but loved the French toast.
Well, not
sticks.
immediately.
I
We
did.
He
had
decided to
no,
give it an S.
not immediately.
I am so glad that out of the 4, I can like one of them enough to finish it.
I did.
That's,
I finished the
You did?
mushroom Swiss. I finished French toast sticks.
This is like the only one that I'm dissatisfied with.
I kept drinking
Except for
that
the
Chicken
number.
Express
Burger King.
fruit punch the whole night.
Everything
This
else
was a
here is
large.
like, A's and B's.
That's
I like the sauce on the In-N-Out burger way more.
I do.
Mushroom Swiss is great and all, but I don't know. Maybe
I
maybe
prefer-
It's just, maybe it's just.
I- The fuck?
That's right.
Yeah, as if our day couldn't have been any worse. Some jackass at the hotel decided to pull the fire alarm. But the building did not burn down. So that's the end of day 5. It was a long and
What a fucking
uncomfortable
day.
day
I
for both of us.
I microwaved
But
the
the
shit
good
out of the stuff afterwards, and I ate it anyways.
I know, and I did not.
You were just
I was like, fuck.
face flat on the flat bed,
Yeah.
ass up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep eating. This is great. I think I even had a few more bites of the In-N-Out burger when I was when you were passed out.
That was fine, man. Like I just felt terrible after all
I
that, and it was 100% the Rudy's because it felt like that
Yeah,
all
you were
day.
stuck in the bathroom the next day for quite a while. I was like, man, I'm kind of glad I only took a few bites of it
Yeah.
and decided that this was not it for me.
Yeah. So
And just-
Rudy's will ruin your fucking day. I don't know how people in Texas survive down there eating
I
that
don't
as like a
either.
fast food thing.
I don't either. Like Rudy's is okay. It's decent. Like,
Yeah.
but listen, our bodies weren't built for that.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, they weren't.
Maybe they're just. Texas is one of the few places in the United States that succeeded twice.
True.
And is gearing up for a
They're
third.
they're just built different down there. You're right.
Something they put in the beans, man.
They're built different down there, man. We were
It's
too
called-
weak, I guess.
But the thing is with Texas is I think the anecdote for Texas that I hate the most is the one that you give, because it's the same way that you called me out for being a hipster. You like to do that. You like to give fantastic comparisons and anecdotes that are so accurate that I hate it.
Thanks. What you're saying is I speak the truth.
People are as strongly passionate about Texas as Wisconsinites are about Wisconsin.
Oh yeah,
Texans and Wisconsinites have the exact same energy, and it's like, and it clashes in every single way possible. And you are absolutely right.
Yep.
I also hate driving through there.
Dude, Texas, I think, was the most boring.
I hated it.
Like driving down to
Texas.
New Orleans was like boring
And
because
I'm proud to say that.
driving down to New Orleans was boring just because it was a lot of the same like kinds of roads, but it eventually like split up and like it wasn't all that rural. You had options for if you needed gas or just to fucking take a
Texas,
piss. Texas,
line.
no. Middle of nowhere.
Straight line.
Straight line?
It was the only, as I said, this is the only time I've ever wanted to be in a sports car that can do 200 miles an hour because I think I'd probably actually do it.
Yeah.
I think I could probably get away with it too.
Substantial progress on the tier list, and now only had 12 restaurants to go as we went into day 6.
Of the.
Oh, right. Sorry. Before I forget, like we really did have to do that. Like be a little miserable on day 5 in order for this to work. And I knew that was going to happen. Like, hey, we were going to have to make it up, but
2 and 5 were going to be our worst days. We knew that going into it.
Yeah.
2 and 5 were going to be our worst. And what were they?